Hello, faithful listeners, and welcome to All Hail the King, a podcast where we delve into the mystic, mysterious, and often macabre world of Stephen King adaptations. My name is Viv, and I am joined by my co-hosts, Joe and Garen. On this episode, we're Doctor Sleep bitches.
It's our last one of the year, everyone.
Happy end of the year. Merry Christmas.
When does this come out?
Well, it's supposed to come out on the 27th.
Okay,
I was gonna run by you this idea. Since our Stanley Kubrick The Shining episode was 2 days late, we could have released this one 2 days early on Christmas. But who's gonna listen on Christmas, realistically?
Me.
Yeah, this one, right? Yeah, we love this one. Doctor Sleep 2002, directed by Nick Willing.
I saw that as well.
Yeah,
I kind of like that idea. But,
I tried to watch Return
but
to
it
the
runs it.
Overlook, but I couldn't find it online.
I watched it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Physical media. Yeah, it
Wow.
was pretty good.
What is it? Is it a documentary?
Yeah, it's just them talking about the production. It's a lot of the stuff in the sets they built
Oh,
for
cool.
the Overlook.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is our last one of the year. I'm
And what a
excited
wonderful
to be,
time we've had.
Yeah. I'm excited to be done with the world of The Shining as much as I'd loved it. It just feels like, kind of like when we did Salem's Lot. I felt like we'd lived in Salem's Lot.
If you
for this one.
hate, if you're gonna fucking despise Carrie by the end of it, because we're going for like the most after this.
Oh no, I was
the-
gonna say you're gonna fucking hate it when we do Children of the
Children
Corn.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking
I
forward
think
to
the
that.
difference is for Salem's Lot, I was the only one who read the book. We all read The Shining, but I'm the only one now who's read Doctor Sleep. So for me, I've read 2 books for these 3 episodes, and it's just made it feel elongated. I love it. I love the world of The Shining. I'm excited to go on
I
to
feel as
something
though
new.
it makes me appreciate it more.
Yeah, a different character with The Shining, but
Yeah.
retconned to have The Shining.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been a good time.
Yeah.
It's been so different. Get to really delve into these.
Yeah.
So
Before we do get into thoughts on Doctor Sleep, I just want to talk. How do you two feel? We've been doing this for almost half a year now.
We have.
We've actually been being creative and putting stuff out there.
Yeah.
Into the
I know.
world.
It's gotten me to read way more. I felt like for a little bit I was burning out on Stephen King, mainly around the Cell Bag of Bones era, for understandable reasons.
Well,
but I
we
finished,
threw you a bone with Long Walk.
You gave me The Long Walk, which I did really like. I've loved most of these books, and I appreciate Cell. I hate Bag of Bones. The more I
are we going to
think
do a
about
ranking at the end of this? Or do you want to do...
I mean, I'm not too bothered, but if
Can
you
I
want
just,
to,
should I just do the books now since I'm on it?
Yeah, go for it.
Bag of Bones.
Wait,
was
don't
for
include
me.
Doctor Sleep, because we want to save that for a little
Okay.
bit.
a little bit.
I
Yeah.
will. Yeah, okay. I won't rank them all. How about this? I say my worst and my best.
Okay.
So, worst Bag of Bones. You might think it'd be Cell, but at least Cell was funny
Yeah. I can
And-
completely
and
understand that.
shorter.
Yeah.
And
You
Cell
did
had a
read
good-
half of Bag of Bones in
in
a
it. Oh
day
yeah,
as well.
I definitely shot myself on the foot back. I could see myself revisiting it, maybe listening to the audiobook, which is narrated by Stephen King, and liking it in that regard. But
After every sentence,
Yeah.
he justifies it.
yeah, this is why I wrote
This is why I did it. It was very
important.
important.
Top. The one I think about the most is Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I've given Meg, friend of the pod, The Long Walk, and she is currently reading it because she heard my crack shit gay theories and was like, I want to test this for myself and see if you were right. But I've also recommended her Salem's Lot, just unironically. She asked if she was going to read one Stephen King book, what would she read? And I said Salem's Lot.
Yeah.
Well, she thinks she has got now as well, so...
I don't know. Meg, if you're listening, we all love you. I wouldn't take any of Joe's opinions or recommendations to heart, 'cause Joe is saying you should watch The War Between the Land and the Sea.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Did
yeah,
it
you don't
end?
know about that.
Did
it
it-
hasn't yet.
It
I guess
hasn't-
by the time this comes out, it's finished.
This is dog shit.
So
no,
no.
it's really good.
I'll say
Oh.
it. Spoiler alert. Maybe Garen will bleep it. If not, skip ahead if you really care about the Long War Between the Land and the Sea spoilers. Hot boy Ibrahim gets shot and dies. Yeah.
Oh my
Meg's gonna
God.
be so sad.
Oh no.
Yeah.
She doesn't know yet.
Oh,
She's the
well.
only one who's gonna care.
I'll need to know by the time I put this out whether Meg has caught up.
Yeah.
That'll be
Put an
that's
addendum
all
in.
why I.
If she
choose
hasn't,
to
next
keep
time
it.
I see her in person, I will just say you need to catch up.
But anyway, to bring it back to Stephen King, do you have a personal favourite and a least favourite?
Of the films we've watched, I think my favorite film was Shawshank.
Yeah.
But that's one I knew already. About ones that are totally fresh and brand new to me. Honestly, the most surprising is Salem's Lot 2004.
Ooh.
I know it's got its quirks. It's
Yeah.
but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the Salem's Lots to some varying extents.
Which one didn't you like? Come on.
No, I
No,
found
I meant in terms of like all the ones you've
Oh,
seen.
Least favorite film.
least favorite film, just as a film, is probably Cell. It's funny, but I can kind of like appreciate some of the things that Bag of Bones is going for earnestly,
Yeah.
whereas Cell is just like, what happened?
Yeah, that's fair. Fifth Day.
Honestly, just as a new discovery, I really loved Christine. I know that's like right at the beginning, but like genuinely,
Yeah, Christine was
Christine's
great.
a banger. I've warmed up to Christine. I know I was a bit more middling at the time. But
Mhm.
I think it's a
I mean,
great
John
film.
Carpenter.
Yeah. Least favorite? Is it Cell or Bag of Bones?
Bag of Bones? That was a fucking slog. Jesus Christ!
It'd be wild if you threw in a wild card. You were just like,
I hated Shawshank. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's like we get it.
Yeah.
You're redeeming yourself. Ugh.
I'm assuming your favorite film, Joe, was Life of Chuck,
I
considering it's
don't
in your
know.
top 4.
It is, but the problem is, I think of Shawshank and Life of Chuck as kind of separate as a list from the other ones. I find it so hard to compare. I think we said this when we were ranking the cartoons at the end of First Time Flyers this current season, which at time of listening isn't finished yet. The next episode will be the last one. Where I said in that, like, compared to the other 4 we talked about, Avatar is so different, so it feels weird to rank them. So it's like, yeah, Life of Chuck is up there. I want to revisit it. My plan is to rewatch it on Christmas.
I think everything you're saying is just cowardice. Just rank them compared to each other.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. I don't know. Yeah, it probably is. I'm hoping Santa Claus brings me the Blu-rays for Life of Chuck and The Long Walk. And then I'm going to watch them again, and maybe my opinion will change. Life of Chuck definitely hit at that exact time that
Yeah.
it emotionally impacted me. I think if I would have watched it 2 or 3 weeks ago, it would have also hit at the exact time. Whereas at the minute, my grandfather seems to be alive again, so maybe it won't hit as much this time. my passion for Life of Chuck, as much as I do love it, my passion for it is fully dependent. It's like my
What, your
grandfather's
mental state?
no, on my grandfather's heartbeat.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
I like to think that Mike Flanagan is directing your grandfather's life.
yeah, that's why he won't die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi, Mike.
Hello,
Mike.
Mike.
We're back to Mike.
we're back
Yeah.
to Mike. Yeah, Mike Flanagan's back.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting how in our first season, so to speak, we've done 2 Mick Garris and 2 Mike Flanagans, who are
Yeah.
probably the 2 most common King adapters.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Didn't they friends or enemies? Or lovers?
But they know each other.
They know each other? I hope
Well,
so.
I mean, I'm sure they've like at least spoken. They've been in
Almost
similar
certainly.
things, like
Yeah.
they've been in the same documentaries and stuff.
Yeah. I would be shocked if they haven't met.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like Mick Garris is like, oh, you're like the new me, but like with that hint of passive aggressiveness, like,
Uh-huh.
haha.
When it comes to Mike Flanagan and Mick Garris, I like to think of it like the substance.
He's the younger
Yeah.
rendition of Mick Garris. That's a
Yeah.
good idea.
That's funny. And weirdly, they've both kind of tread similar grounds. In
I mean, they've
terms,
both done The Shining.
they've both done the Shining Ground thing, but also wasn't Mick Garris one of the Salem's Lots? No, he
No.
wasn't. For some reason, I was thinking
Toby
of
Hooper?
I was thinking of Rob Lowe's Salem's Lot as Mick Garris's Salem's Lot. He didn't, did he? He did Bag of Bones.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Mike. When are you going to do that, Mike? When are you doing Bag of Bones?
Yeah.
Maybe
When
that's
he's
what's going to
scraping the
redeem
bottom
it.
of the barrel.
Mike Flanagan could do the exact same Bag of Bones, and I'm just going to be like, actually,
Just a quick addendum to Bag of Bones. After we recorded that episode, we watched Signs, the M. Night
Oh, we
Shyamalan
did,
movie,
yeah.
and I do kind of think he would have cooked with Bag of Bones. I think M. Night Shyamalan could have adapted.
Yeah, no, I can see
honestly, yeah. We are
Like
M. Night
that-
Shyamalan lovers, though.
that. That like period of M. Night Shyamalan films.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
Like-
right after The Last Day of Ender.
Yeah. But yeah. So, do you want to talk about the book first, or do you have any more like preamble before we get into?
I've covered most of my preamble. I think I'll try and actually rank the books at the end.
Okay. Yeah,
we
because
want
in
to.
this one, unlike the last one, we didn't actually read a book. We're back to being non-readers. Go us.
Oh, hell
Yeah. Only I read
So
Doctor
nice.
Sleep.
Yeah, I know.
A very easy read. I think that other than is it actually? I think is it the most recent full novel of King's work I've read. It might be.
2013?
Yeah, because everything I've read after
I mean,
that
considering the ones you got up there.
is all short stories, isn't it? Because
You haven't read Holly, have you?
I haven't read Holly yet, and then If It Bleeds is a collection. It's Doctor Sleep, but there's nothing in between Doctor Sleep and If It Bleeds, is there?
No.
In terms of my collection, obviously he released books in between that. So yeah, this is the most recent King full novel I've read, and it was a very easy read. Yeah, so it's the most recent King full novel I've read, and I found it a very easy read. I think the fact that I was already familiar with the story, because we saw Doctor Sleep when it came out
Yeah, we
in
did.
cinemas.
Were you like familiar with Mike Flanagan's work by then, or was it kind of just more of a casual thing?
Well, the first Mike Flanagan film I watched was Oculus, and I watched that when it came out, but I don't know if I knew it was Mike Flanagan. I watched that because Karen Gillan was in it,
Yeah.
and I don't think I knew it was him then. I think I only really started recognizing the name around Hush,
Yeah. Okay.
which I can't remember what actually came out first.
Well, Oculus was like 2013. Hush was 2016, I believe.
Oh, Hush was before this, but maybe I just didn't see Hush until I was a bit older.
I mean, surely you would have seen Gerald's Game, right?
Gerald's Game, what? Maybe I did. Maybe I was familiar with Mike Flanagan's work then.
Because I'd seen Gerald's Game like shortly after it came out.
When did Gerald's Game come out?
2017.
Must have then. Maybe it just did, and I just don't remember it. I definitely wasn't attached to him as I was now, because I didn't watch his mini-series, any of them, until 2020.
Oh, okay.
And I watched Hill House, Bly Manor, kind of leading up to the release of Midnight Mass, which I was hyped for.
I didn't
So-
realize it took you so long to watch Haunting of Hill House.
Yeah, I didn't watch it until years later. I don't particularly know why, because I've always I didn't read the Shirley Jackson book until last year, but I've always been familiar with the story. I've watched the original like Haunting movie and the House on Haunted Hill, but I don't know. I wasn't really into like the Netflix series model at the time. Like I didn't really watch too much TV. So, but once I did, like I watched Hill House, watched Bly Manor, obviously Midnight Mass, and now I'm just like obsessed with the guy.
Yeah, it was like
the guy's
quite.
work.
It was quite interesting because I was going into it quite cynically because I didn't think it looked great, and also just like the very idea of it.
Yeah,
Like I'll get into it more when we talk about the actual movie, but
Yeah. I didn't see this in cinemas. So shortly before Doctor Sleep came out, me and Viv went to go see The Shining. And I remember it being advertised as before the film, there was a 5-minute preview of Doctor Sleep.
Do you remember? I don't remember that.
They didn't show it.
Oh, didn't they?
No.
Oh,
Which I remember being confused by at the time, just like, oh, they didn't show the preview. And I was just like, oh, I don't think it looks that great anyway.
Yeah.
And
I think.
I couldn't go see everything when I was in uni, so
That's
that was one of the ones that fell by the wayside. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah. But yeah, so I was familiar with this from the start, and then I did decide to rewatch the film before I read the book. I watched this twice. I watched the theatrical cut, read the book, then watched the director's cut.
Yeah.
And I found the book a really easy read. It just flowed really well. Maybe it's because I knew what was happening,
The
but
first sequel?
you know, it is the first sequel. It's not, he doesn't do many sequels.
No, not really.
Yeah, if barely any, if anything.
Yeah.
I can't really think of many. off
Dark
the top
Tower
of my head.
2, Dark Tower 3,
Yeah, I mean, other than-
Dark Tower 4.
Yeah.
Ooh, Dark Tower 5.
Oh shit. It's 2. He's back.
He's back.
um,
The Rage, Carrie 2.
But no, just like the very
Carrie does a school shooting.
just the very idea of like I'm talking more about the film as well, but just the very idea of seeing like a sequel to like The Shining, you just think like what else could they explore with
well, I
this?
think my opinions of the book and the film, I won't go into them too much now. Obviously, I'll talk about the book one soon. But like, I think a lot of that was affected by my expectations in a positive way because I kind of knew what it was going for. Whereas I think a lot of people, the reason that reviews of both the book and the film skew on the negative is more to do with the concept, in my opinion. The amount of people, when I was like reading book reviews and looking, and I'll talk about the history of the book in a minute, but I saw a lot of people saying like, oh, it's not as scary as The Shining. It's not as freaky. And it's like, I don't think it's meant to be. I think King had the idea of what he was going for into this in terms of like a character study of an adult Dan Torrance. And it wasn't trying to be The Shining, which is always the hardest part of this type of sequel.
Yeah.
How many things have had sequels where it's a different thing and people are just like, oh, but it's not the original.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll talk about it more when we talk about the movie.
Yeah, like, I definitely got opinions there.
Same.
But, so I tell you about the history of the book, how it was made?
Yeah.
So it was during a tour for Under the Dome in 2009. When King first like shared that he had an idea of what Danny Torrance would be like, because someone asked him. I know the similar thing happened also with the Bag of Bones A Bag of Bones tour. I can't remember when that
Where
was.
is Bag of Bones now?
Where's Pierce Brosnan and
Where
that
is
tree?
he? But someone said to it, people essentially were saying to him, like at Q&As, where do you think Danny is now? And he would do this thing where he would like calculate Danny's age in his head. He'd be like, oh, it's weird to think that Danny would be this old now,
Mhm.
just in real time. And he came up with the idea in his head that adult Danny would use his powers to help hospice patients pass away. And that was all he had for a while. And then
If I may just quickly interject.
yeah.
So in periphery, behind the scenes stuff, King, that being, does mention he was asked on a number of occasions, what's Danny up to now?
Yeah.
And he never really had a good answer, but he would always say that he got married to Charlie from Firestarter and they grew up to have superpowered kids.
Really funny.
Hell yeah.
So I'm kind of glad that's not the direction it went in, but
Yeah.
hey,
Was it-
you know.
I mean, wasn't he kind of like fucking with the idea in the commentary of the Shining miniseries, like you were saying?
Yeah, he does. Well, in that, he does say, I wonder where Danny is now.
Yeah.
Obviously, that was like 2002, 2003, the commentary.
So
which
he
It
was
was
makes
like-
sense he was thinking about it, because in that, he has it where Danny is confirmed to be Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which isn't brought up in...
It's brought up in the book,
Okay.
but not Danny being Tony.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I'll go into it.
yeah.
Yeah, and in the miniseries, we do see that Danny is seemingly graduating with honours, doing really well for himself.
Little nerd.
Yeah.
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 Obviously, compared to where Danny is at the start of Doctor Sleep, things can change.
I mean, you can still graduate and become like an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If anything, I think that's a good like
I think that makes
progression.
sense.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
did fine in school, and then the second he was out of school, it's like, oh no.
Oh no!
yeah.
I still think
Maybe it's got
He
more to
should've-
do with like when Wendy passed
Why
away.
didn't he use
Yeah.
his Shining to predict stocks or like lottery numbers or some shit?
to be fair, it does talk a lot about in the book about like the effect of like watching Wendy die.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at the end of 2009, King put up a poll on his website about what his next book should be. Another book in the Dark Tower series or Doctor Sleep. Doctor Sleep won 5,816 votes to 5,812 votes.
God damn.
4 votes difference.
God damn.
Was it made clear what Doctor Sleep was?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
he'd
right.
explained by that point.
Okay.
And King didn't finish the first draft of Doctor Sleep until around November 2011, and the next Dark Tower book came out in 2012. So I don't really know.
He was
the
doing them
order
both
of it.
anyway.
Yeah, he was doing them both anyway,
Yeah.
and he took his time with Doctor Sleep. So the story was partly inspired, which is really funny because when we bought the physical copy of Doctor Sleep I own from a secondhand lovely little bookshop, it had a cat on the cover, and I remember saying we had a long conversation about why is there a cat there, and I for the life of me could not remember a cat being relevant to Doctor Sleep. The story was inspired by Oscar the therapy cat, who predicted the deaths of ill patients.
Yeah.
Which is obviously the cat in the film, which is
Yeah.
also there, which is
Yeah.
why there's a cat on the cover of the book. In terms of the writing, King really wanted to get the continuity between Doctor Sleep and The Shining right, so he actually hired a researcher called
The researchers on both.
Yeah.
My dude, just read it.
Rocky Wood,
Oh, that's a great name.
yeah, who would double check the continuity between The Shining and Doctor Sleep. Thank God he did do that, because there were moments in the book where I was trying to think like, does that work? And we'll get to what moments.
Honestly, I think that's a great
Right,
idea
yeah.
because you'd be surprised by how many people forget their own like continuity that they've written.
Okay.
Yeah. King actually delayed the book himself.
Wendy's a
because he wanted to-
brunette? Question mark. No.
No.
Wife.
What was Danny's friend's name? Toby?
The book was originally meant to be out in January 2013. The King delayed it himself as he wanted it to edit it more. It was the first on the New York Times bestseller lists in all formats, and you'll never guess what award it won in 2013.
The Bram Stoker thing.
Bram Stoker's best novel.
What?
We've talked about this. Every fucking Stephen King book is
Really?
like, oh, what award was it nominated for or won? The Bram Stoker
I
Award.
swear you're lying.
I am not lying. Gary
When have
knew
you
what
ever
it was.
brought up the Bram
Well, I
Stoker
clearly
Awards?
have, because Gary knew what it was.
Yeah, but you're
Joe's gonna do like
cooperating.
the best of Joe.
These two have been getting together behind my back and started talking shit.
Forget the compilations. I'm making every time Joe mentions Bram Stoker.
You're both lying to me. Okay.
We're not. It's okay. You just forgot.
Viv, it's fine. If we've learned anything from today, you've got a memory like a sieve.
No, I don't have a very good memory.
Yeah. But no,
It's all the spaghetti westerns.
The book is formatted pretty traditionally in parts, jumping between characters, mainly between Danny, Abra, and Rose the Hat's group. It starts each part with quotes from either Alcoholics Anonymous or
And it
like,
names them.
can you imagine?
Yeah.
Yeah, or like this, like the AA guide, basically, like
The
the
guide?
rules. Yeah, there's a guide.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like to help recovering alcoholics.
How to be an alcoholic.
Yeah. I actually
I hope that's what I got for Christmas.
So I wanted to shout out a couple that says, so at the start of the book, it starts with fear stands for fuck everything and run. And that comes back at the end of the book with the final quote from Alcoholics Anonymous, then being fear stands for face everything and recover. And I thought that was very nice. I really liked this book. I think it's really clear the Stephen King that wrote The Shining to the Stephen King that wrote Dr. Sleep. It just in terms of how he views his own recovery journey, the idea of recovery in general. And when we talk about the changes between the book and the film, there's actually some aspects of that I think are really relevant to the point where there are changes in the film. Shocking, me criticizing Mike Flanagan, I think kind of undermine that. Yeah.
That's very interesting. Do you see it as like a reflection of The Shining? Do you think it's like changed like his general view of alcoholism, or do you think it's more just like it's reinforcing those themes?
Do you mean the book or the film?
The book.
I think a lot of it, it focuses a lot on the things people do when drunk. I mean, we talked about it the other day actually, because there was a YouTube video that came out from a YouTuber I like that you have watched, talking about The Shining and Jack as a father, and how he's maybe not as sympathetic as he seems, which I haven't watched yet. I'm going to watch. And there's bits in the film. So, for example, Danny takes the money off the woman he sleeps with and leaves the baby, and they end up both dying. That comes up way more in the book. That was like an anchor point for Danny.
Yeah.
And that ties back into the Alcoholics Anonymous rules. So, the 12-step program, with I think the final step being like a confession of some kind of something you did while drunk. And it's something that weighs on Danny a lot. And King kind of writes about how Danny eventually does open up about it years later, like 15 years after. And is free of it. And also the kind of jokiness of everyone is just kind of like, is that it? That's the thing that you've been like, I will never admit this to anyone. And the fact that everyone in the room is kind of like, has either seen worse or kind of done worse. And it's how like your own interpretation of your own demons. And I think you get that with The Shining as an ability. I find the way that King writes The Shining really interestingly. So obviously the whole idea of Danny using The Shining to help people pass on, I think is very beautiful. But even earlier, I think there's a line that acknowledges this in the film. When he first starts to develop the ability of knowing someone's going to die, it's with Wendy, and he sees her covered in flies.
Yeah, they say that in the film.
Yeah, I thought they did. And he sees that with himself as well, near the end. Spoiler alert, Danny doesn't die in the book.
Interesting.
But he sees, before the Overlook confrontation...
So he does die in the movie?
Yes, he doesn't die in the book.
I'll be honest, I was a little confused.
I think it's meant to be ambiguous, but
Yeah.
Abra does say, like, I was talking to Dan, we go on, Dad's there as well. So I think Abra saying that was confirmed he died.
Okay.
I don't blame you. I was watching the movie after, like, the first time, knowing I'd seen the movie before, but at the end I was like, he dies?
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, did you watch the theatrical or the director's cut?
I watched the theatrical cut.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I only watched the director's cut.
I watched both.
And you've only seen the director's cut?
Only the director's cut.
Interesting.
Director's cut basically just expands on things.
I've
There's
seen
only one
I
new
saw
scene.
pictures of the deleted scenes. I have not watched the deleted scenes themselves.
The like the one with
There's
Jack
only
in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's only really the only full scene.
Yeah.
A lot of it's just
that's the only thing I
Is the rest just like extended scenes, basically?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
more time and more like character.
Interesting.
yeah.
It's but when I watched it, I was like, I have no idea what's like added in apart from that one scene in the bathroom because it just doesn't feel like it needs to be there.
Yeah.
But everything else is like really seamless.
Do you want to know more changes from the book now?
Yeah, go
there's
for
some
it.
obviously I'll sprinkle throughout. One thing I will criticize Stephen King for is the naming of certain characters. Not only because it's problematic, but because it was also really confusing. So there is a character in Rose's group called Barry the Chunk, played by, I can't remember the actor's name, it is written in my notes, give me 2 seconds. Played by Robert Longstreet, who was in all his miniseries. You would remember him, Viv, as the drunk guy from Midnight Mass. Yeah. Barry the Chunk. at some points, you're going to have to censor this. I'm really sorry. But
I
at some points...
I hope there's a sound that appears later on in the episode.
You can use the Ren and Stimpy noises. Right?
There are times, as early as... in my ebook version, there's 800 pages. As early as 200 pages in, he refers to him as Barry the...
Oh.
Yeah, and then it refers to him as Barry the Chunk, and I was like, is that just a really unfortunate typo that no one saw? But then there's like a bit where Abra is like spying on them, and she says like, not Barry the Chunk, Barry the... only he's not Chinese. And they call him that because his eyes are slanted.
Oh no!
Oh.
But there's a different character called Petty the... And I was like, who the fuck is this? So I googled this, and it's Grandpa Flick's wife. And I'm just like, why would King write two characters, both with the same offensive nickname? Unless it's implying that Abra was just wrong, and it is Barry the Chunk and Petty the... But even after that, he mentions Petty the... and Barry the... And it's just like, who's who? And I hate how much I'm having to say the word.
He's trying to write easy characterization is making it really a little bit racist.
I mean, some of it's like, oh yeah, Rose the Hat, fucking great character.
Hey, this was written years ago.
It was a different time. It was
back in 2013.
I mean, it was pre-2016. It was probably everyone got woke.
It was pre-Gamergate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know what side he'd be on.
There's one part of the book I really wanted to bring up that unfortunately I spoiled for Viv and you found out.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed this is not in the movie.
Yeah. So you get a lot more in the book build up with Abra. You see her basically from being a baby and how her shining is active before she's even conscious, essentially. One of them is when she's baby, bloody images, or numbers in this case, appear on her chest, kind of like when Danny seeing Red Rum, essentially, I guess. And one of them, the first introduction to this, I highlighted it because I was like, where is this going? It says, written on her chest is in blood is what looked like the number 11. And I was like, oh, where's this going? And then like a couple of chapters after, it was, Abra was naked, written on her chest was the number 175. I was like, where the fuck is this going? What the hell is that to do with anything? And then later, it's a mention of a passenger jet hitting the World Trade Center. I was like, okay, it's a framing device. And then I went on the next page of that, and it was that was American Airlines Flight 11. United Airlines Flight 175 struck the Trade Center South Tower. And I was just like, oh my god, Abra predicted 9/11.
And she didn't do anything.
It's like at 9:03 a.m. At 9:03, Abra Stone abruptly stopped crying. By 9:04, she was sound asleep. So she, like, as a baby, witnessed 9/11.
Wait, so it happened that she went to sleep?
Well, it happened after it was over. She went to sleep.
She was a baby.
She was a baby.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, this isn't interesting.
But it's so relevant. So, you know the character who's played by Gerald from Gerald's Game, Dr. John? He's not in the movie as much as he's in the book. In the book, he's kind of the connecting force between Abra and Dan, because he's Abra's doctor, and he's like seen her since birth. So he knows about all the weird shit that goes on with Abra.
Yeah.
And the amount of conversations I had to read where it's like, well, she knew about 9/11 before it happened. It's just like,
that's good justification.
Yeah, makes you wonder, what was Dan doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't he have predicted 9/11? Couldn't he have stopped it?
I mean, maybe he saw the different outcome and maybe it would have been worse.
Maybe.
He was just like, that's
There's
what they get for supporting Israel.
Alternate version alternate version of this book where Abra's trying to stop 9/11 and Dan has to stop her stopping it.
I think in the new year what we should do is change the name of the podcast to All Hail the King, except when he's problematic.
I'm genuinely curious now, considering how much the movie relies on the Kubrick adaptation, and I'm just curious. I'm guessing the opening is entirely different, and the ending, of course.
It's a lot more similar than you'd think.
Really?
So, in terms of the opening, the only thing that's really different is the fact that Dick Halloran is dead. But obviously,
So Dick Halloran is still alive.
Dick Halloran is still alive in the opening scenes. By the time he appears later, for that last time to basically tell Danny, like, you're going to have to train someone.
Because I assume they just go to the Florida hotel he was working at in The Shining.
Something like that, yeah. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, they just, Dick comes to see them every so often anyway.
Okay.
So so in terms of the beginning, pretty much the same. He's just alive. Dick still tells Danny about the boxes, still teaches him how to
It's not in the maze. It's with the
It's just a box. It's you don't really get the location of the boxes like a visual like that. It's more just like you've got them in a box.
The box.
And then-
Cement configuration.
It's going to go in the vault. There we go.
Ending still takes place at the Overlook. It's just burned down.
It's just the campsite.
Oh,
isn't it?
so it's just in the ashes and shit?
It's just like there's no building there. There's like, I think, literally just a set of doors. It's still different. They don't. You don't get the chase sequence, obviously. You do get Dan attacking Abra, but that's not because Jack is over influencing him. That's because Rose is influencing him.
Okay.
And you do get the releasing of the Shining, like the ones in the original book, characters, but you see a lot less of them. You get the glass guy, you get the lady in room 217,
Yeah.
237, and you get Dan releasing Jack. And
Oh, really?
yeah, and so and it's
We've got
that
a
sequence.
Jack comes busting in.
No, to be fair, he's hardly really. It's
got the
mentioned
Avengers
less.
of fucking
He does-
trauma.
he does. It's more like they go like during one of the vision bit essentially, rather than being in the maze, they're in the hotel, they're in the room, like his bedroom,
Yeah.
and it's Abra and Dan, and it's when like Jack is banging against the wall with a rope mallet, and Abra, you're seeing it through Abra's perspective, so you don't get the confirmation that it's Jack, even though you know, because she only describes him as the monster, and then it's at the end where they're about to leave. They've defeated Rose the Hat, not by the ghosts consuming her, but Abra basically pushes her off the Overlook.
Okay.
And as he's leaving, he sees Jack's ghost standing where the Overlook stood. And that's when you get the confirmation it was Jack. So in terms of differences, it wasn't that different in terms of the overall. I was expecting the end to be completely different.
Considering how much I guess it's just like the iconography of
Visualizing,
it all.
yeah.
So I guess you could still like sort of implement it.
Yeah.
I find it kind of funny just like trying to imagine what it... I guess it... Because in my head, when it burnt down, and because like it exploded.
It exploded, yeah.
I mean, I'm just expecting just like the frame of the Overlook and they just go inside like...
No, it's basically not there. There's a set of doors that are still standing. But like they call it like the Overlook Lodge, and Dan calls it to Abra the top of the world.
Is Stephen King stupid? Does he not remember how the miniseries ended? Where they were rebuilding the Overlook?
So they do acknowledge that. They acknowledge that the county, I guess, owned the land, and they decided not to do anything with it because of the fact that 2 years on a row there was murder spree. It's like, fair enough.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
focus on different projects.
Yeah, it's like, we don't need to rebuild this specific
How much
place.
money was it bringing into the local economy?
Yeah, it's only open half the year. I guess rich people were going there, but like,
It's more of
Yeah.
a place you go to rather than like, just like, it's not like a Premier Inn.
yeah.
It's
Um,
just like staying there just because.
Yeah, exactly. Just to mention some other changes. So, like I said, the Doctor, John, is in it way more. He's the connecting force. He's the one who's in the gunfight. He spends a lot more time traveling with Dan. Barry's the chunk.
Oh, so wait,
Billy.
so
Yeah.
that's not his alcoholic anonymous friend then?
No, he's still in Alcoholics Anonymous. No, the Alcoholic Anonymous friend is Billy,
Okay.
who's the one who's in the shootout and shoots himself.
Right.
Also doesn't happen in the book. The shootout does. He doesn't shoot himself.
Oh, okay.
No, they all live in the book, essentially.
Yeah.
Even Abra's parents are in it way more, which is another thing, which is the one thing I'm glad.
There is an extra scene, actually, with Abra in the director's cut.
Is that?
Yeah. Well,
When
it's
she's
not really...
younger,
Yeah, it's not really Abra, but it's her playing the piano, then she goes to bed, goes to sleep, and then her parents are woken up by the piano playing itself, playing the same tune.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing that happens in the spoon scene, just
Yeah,
a few
it didn't need to be
scenes
there.
later. I like it, though, and also gives me an opportunity to bring up my spoon. So I recently... I think you knew about this spoon?
I forgot no other spoon.
Okay, but I recently told Joe about this spoon
Yeah.
that I've got. This has no bearing on the pod, but I just want to bring it up because I love this spoon so much. It is the funniest spoon you can imagine. I was in France on holiday. I was at this cafe and I was having banana pancakes. Lovely, by the way. And they gave us spoons that had text written on them, like on the bit of the spoon that you use to pick stuff up with. And just in like standard like typewriter text, it just says chocolate predator. It's the funniest spoon. And I stole it. I'm sorry, arrest me. It was worth it.
Where'd you get it from, France?
Yeah.
Can you get me one when you go back?
Also me, please.
I don't know. The business shut down. They're just like, we don't have the spoon anymore.
Right.
No.
No, I don't know. The business might still be there.
Oh, I'm glad I reminded you when all the spoons were on the ceiling. You're just like, are
That
any of those
family-
chocolate predators?
That family has an obscene amount of cutlery for a
That's-
3-person.
I mean, they're
house.
very wealthy.
They
It's
are.
probably all silverware.
Oh, okay, I suppose. But yeah, Abra's parents are in it a lot more, and the dad survives. The mother is still absent for some of it because of the grandmother being sick. However, there is a part that I don't like, and I'm glad Mike Flanagan cut out. So, but you'll see why. So, the mother is Abra's mother. Her father, Jack Torrance. She is Dan's
What?
half sister.
Oh, wait, I think I read somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I can kind of see what King was going for with it.
God damn,
But,
this
like-
man's just got, like, shining sperm.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm like, and they even say, like, the way they do it is, that's like, they even say, like, oh, that's where Abra gets her anger from. She's a lot more angry, aggressive in the book. And it's just like, I don't know. I could see what he was trying to do in terms of, like, sins of the father stuff. But I think you had enough of that with Dan. I don't think you needed to literally be like,
Yeah, I also
'Cause
don't like
Abra
the
doesn't
angle.
know
I don't like the
Jack.
angle of, like, all the people with the shining power just come from Jack.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
we're-
It's
I was
like-
going to say it's too similar to Star Wars at that point.
Yeah.
Not even like counting the Ewan McGregor connection.
Yeah, and even just the thing of like, oh, Abra knew she's been calling me Uncle Dan, and it's like, even if she didn't know, and it's just like, I can see
It's
what
not
they're
necessary.
trying to do, but like, it adds
makes
nothing.
the world so much smaller.
It does,
Yeah.
and it doesn't add anything.
Hmm.
Like, I like that Dan survives. I think that I do have a problem in the film with Dan dying. I don't really love the narrative of like working through your trauma and preparing the next generation by sacrificing yourself.
Hmm.
I'll go into more of it later. But also, I don't think you need to then force Dan to have a family biologically. He can just have a found family.
Yeah,
He can love-
You did that
Especially
in
when you-
Backbone,
Yeah.
Stephen.
Especially when you contrast that with, like, the Rose the Hat, which is a found family,
Yeah,
and
it's
that's
like they get
portrayed as...
slaughtered.
Yeah, they're slaughtered, they're evil.
Yeah.
Like, they literally murder children.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
They're like the conservatives' idea
Yeah.
of, like, a polyamorous relationship.
It's what they're doing in Springfield. They're eating the cats and dogs.
Yeah. Whereas, like, have Dan be accepted into Abra's family as Uncle Dan without the biological aspect. Have Billy be like Dan's best friend, and the doctor be a confidant, and have him find that family in this community.
Yeah.
And I like that Stephen King kept him alive, because I do think there's worth in saying like you can like the whole same thing the Alcoholics Anonymous steps say of face everything and recover. If it's a story of recovery, I like that he's able to recover and he doesn't have to die in the end.
See, I don't live
But-
by that philosophy.
You
You
like
should
the-
die in the end.
What? Not
You
F-
like the fuck everything and run philosophy?
Yeah, no. I'm a firm believer in fish.
Fish?
Fuck it, shit happens.
That's fair. But yeah, I don't like that bit.
I also don't like the idea of Jack being committing adultery. I know he's got a lot of like faults, but I do
Yeah.
feel like his commitment to Wendy is
Yeah, this is the bit that confused me. So it would have had to happen early in their relationship, if
Yeah.
that. But that it's confirmed that like the mother was like a student teacher. So I've implied that they went to college together. But I was still a bit unclear of when it happened, because I don't think it's ever said whether like she's older than Dan or not. So I don't know if it was implying that it happened before he and Wendy were together.
Wasn't there a period where they broke up for a little bit?
Maybe.
And then he said he was like, he never like cheated or anything.
Maybe. I wonder if I just Googled, like, did Jack Torrance cheat on Wendy?
Hmm.
It would just come up, because
I don't know.
it
AI
did
these days
confuse
just
me.
ruin all
I know,
the
I also
search
don't know
engines.
when I found
Jack
this.
Torrance is the protagonist of the novel The Shining, written by Stephen King.
You're so fucking clever for asking that question. That just goes to show
Oh, you're so
you've got
clever.
it. You think more than others.
You're so smart.
Viv, can you see my phone?
No, yeah.
Can
Here
I
it is.
have it? Might as well check. But yeah, I just don't think it added anything. You know, it's like it didn't really go anywhere. And also, I'm a firm believer in found family. I love my friends like I love my family. But I can't really relate to like someone who doesn't have a blood family connection, in the sense of, I don't know, for just to be like, oh, by the way, I'm your half brother. We're both in our 40s. Some people might value that connection, but it's not like, this is like one of the first conversations Dan's had with Abra's mother.
Mm.
It's just kind of like, okay, I still don't know you.
Yeah.
And, you know, I just think it's a way of...
The same
to
blood
force a
runs in our
connection.
veins.
Yeah, the blood of an abuser. And I just don't think it was necessary. Right, did Jack Torrance... Top the search is, did Jack Torrance sexually abuse Danny?
Yeah, that's like a very common theory.
Oh no, that's horrible. Jack
I
Torrance.
think that's more
cheat
for the Kubrick
on
adaptation now.
Wendy. That's fair.
I can see. what
Yeah.
people
Okay.
think that.
Yeah. Apparently it was just, yeah, he did cheat on Wendy.
Never mind. Fuck me. I guess
Yeah.
that's why I believe in fish.
One second, what is it with the had an affair with a student teacher, Sandy Reynolds, who was Abra's grandmother. Jack met Wendy in college. He was attracted to her. They dated. Okay, yeah. So it happened after that. Okay. So yeah, Jack's just even worse. Not only is he an abuser, he's also a slag.
I think that's ranks low on the shit he did, to be honest.
Yeah. It's just kind of a cherry on top, isn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Any other major differences before we move on to the movie?
Not that I can think of. You just get more of the characters.
But like
more
basically all
throws
the like the plot beats and the progression are more or less the same.
plot beats are pretty much the same. Only difference is the main difference is just John's there more, and Danny doesn't die. No one dies in the end, other than Rose the Hat's entire family.
Yeah.
But also,
To be fair,
they
they
were
get
murdering children.
to be fair, they get fucking pummeled in the movie as well.
Yeah. Some of them, not all of them, go and die in that gunfight
Yeah.
in the book.
That
It
was
is-
a
It is
slaughter.
funny in the movie. These two guys will wipe them.
Yeah.
Where they filmed that as well, I was just like, is this the same place from Cell where like there's that kid, the guy who talks like his kid,
Yeah.
and they just shoot him in the head.
Yeah. It's the
I,
murder.
um,
It's the murder forest.
Yeah.
I do have one final note, but I would love to talk about that scene more.
Yeah.
My final note is just the mentions of Tony. So,
So
you
it
don't
is
get
him from the future.
no, Danny talks about Tony, and like he's never says essentially I think he
So
says
is that
the
only
line
a
in the book.
miniseries
No,
thing?
He says in
yeah.
the film.
He says in the film about like Tony was. I used to.
He,
speak to
he
Tony.
had an imaginary friend called Tony. It wasn't until he was older he realized that was his shining.
Yeah, and Abra says that she thought he was imaginary. And I thought that implied that there was a chance that Tony probably was a real guy. But it's never confirmed who Tony is. Abra actually also speaks to Tony in a way, never directly, you never like see dialogue. And she thinks as Dan as Tony's dad. So Danny explained like in the book as he saw Tony as like another boy. So it makes me wonder if Tony is like, I mean, I don't even think King knows, but it does make me
I
wonder
don't know. It
if
feels
maybe
pretty
Tony is
concrete in
just
the
like,
miniseries, at least.
Yeah,
that
in the
Tony's
mini-
supposed to be him.
Maybe that's the idea he had at the time.
Yeah, the miniseries that's explicit. They do mention that in the commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I guess they
it's-
just changed their mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that he just didn't want to confirm that.
I'm glad
I
because the
think-
Oh,
confirmation
here we
is pretty
go.
damn.
Here's another line I highlighted. Okay, so better to let Tony be her long distance friend if that was what was really going on. Tony might be a little invisible, but at least he was more or less age appropriate. So Dan basically was like, okay, here's Tony. I'm Tony's dad. Speak to Tony. But Tony wasn't actually there.
Ah.
It was just Dan.
Oh, okay.
So I interpreted it, mainly in the film especially, as Dan always thought Tony wasn't real. And then when Abra says, well, I thought you were imaginary, he kind of thinks like, oh, maybe Tony was a real guy then. But I do not think Tony is Danny.
Okay.
I've seen on some places people theorizing about Tony. I saw one, and I don't know how much merit this has. We'll find out when you eventually go through all the Dark Towers.
Oh, no.
But I've seen somebody say that it's Tony is Maturin, the
Oh, I know him.
the turtle.
Yeah.
It's an
Okay.
avatar of Maturin.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean,
I cannot wait to get to the Dark Tower.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
It'll be
just-
a while.
It will answer all of our questions.
or
I'm
raise
gonna be-
so many more.
I
I'm
hope
going
so.
to be insane when we do the Dark Tower. I'm gonna have to like take those shelves off that wall and have a fucking
Yeah, I hope the notes go across
Yeah.
the door, so it's
When
like
you
genuinely
open
shoves
it.
in.
Yeah.
Rooms are blacked out.
I hope by the time we do cover the Dark Tower, there'll be more than just the 2017 movie, which actually does relate to the production of this film, but
Ooh.
I shall get into that when we do discuss.
Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the book. Maybe I'll compare scenes as we go throughout. But overall, I enjoyed reading it.
Worthy sequel to The Shining?
I think so, mainly because the thing that I would be interested in expanding on in The Shining is Danny and The Shining as an ability, which it did. And I do like how much it focused on Danny as a character. It's quite a slow book. You know, it's quite big, and yet the progression of the plot is pretty much exactly the same as the film. You just get more of Danny interacting with people. You get him speaking to his sponsors. You get, almost relapses. A lot more of him before he starts recovering with his alcoholism. And I think it's just a well-written character. I really
Do
like
you
Danny,
think
to be
it
honest.
could be shaved down to like a more reasonable length?
I mean, yes, but like, that'd be nitpicky about it, It's like, yeah, there's definitely scenes where I'm like,
You
we
could probably
get
say that about most
you
books,
know?
but I can understand why
Yeah.
you're saying that for this book, because it is like quite meaty.
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying, because I know a lot of the criticism towards the film is the length.
Yeah.
And seeing the size of the book up there, it's, I don't
Yeah.
think it's like a hindrance to have a book that long, but sometimes, brevity is good.
Yeah, I think definitely, because especially with the amount you get of each set of characters, like, of course, you could have less with Abra's developing abilities. You could just have, like, the spoon scene and get it. You could have less with Rose the Hat's history and their recruitment and things like that. And you could cover less of Danny's recovery and essentially do what the film does and cut a lot of things out. But no, I think that all of that is there just to show that the process of healing isn't fast. That's the way I see it. And I was surprised, to be honest, at this. I hardly ever get emotional at books. And this is especially embarrassing because I was reading it at the gym on the bike. And I was getting
Do you remember when you pulled out the book when we were on the bus?
Oh, yes. Oh, I didn't acknowledge that. Yeah. I remember the chapter. I'll get to it now. Yeah, and I found myself getting really emotional at the end.
Listen, man,
during the end,
at this point, I don't think it counts a book this long to a sequel to a book you already like.
Yeah.
I think you just like, I'm sure it's good, but this is like borderline Stockholm Syndrome.
yeah, it's just at the end, like it ends with like Danny's, it's kind of the extended scene in the movie. It's like Danny's 15th year on sobriety and he's giving a speech. And it's just had that feeling of like, yeah, he's earned this.
There's definitely got to be someone out there who's read Doctor Sleep without reading or having seen
It's
The
a
Shining.
sequel?
Who the fuck is this guy?
I don't know. It's got to be someone though, right?
Yeah. What was the chapter?
I got a friend who recently read like the 4th or 5th of the Thursday Murder Club books and didn't realize it was like the 4th or 5th in the series.
I can understand. Those kind of things are quite NCR.
Yeah.
Even if they have the same sort of character group.
Yeah. I don't know, but
I don't know if
it's just to
I've-
illustrate these things happen.
I feel like I've done that before. I can't think of what. I don't think I've got the book up there. But I think I've checked out a book before and been like, oh, this isn't the first one in the series. But it's not something on my shelf that I'm currently looking at, as far as I know.
Go on,
Anyway,
get the line out.
this is in the second chapter of the book. Viv and I went on the bus together recently, and we keep accidentally doing this thing where only one of us brings our Kindle.
Yeah.
And so we sat down and was like, I'm reading Doctor Sleep. Do you want to read it with me? And here is the opening line. It's introducing Snakebite
Meanwhile,
Annie,
the bus
character.
was packed.
Yeah, it was a very
Yeah.
busy bus.
It's a Saturday, right?
Yeah. So it's introducing Snakebite
Yeah.
Annie. Her name was Andrea Steiner, and she liked movies, but she didn't like men. This wasn't surprising, since her father had her for the first time when she was 8.
Oh.
He had gone on her for that same number of years. Then she had put a stop to it, first popping his balls, one after the other, one with her mother's knitting needles, and then putting the same needle, red and dripping, in her sire's left eye socket. The balls had been easy, but because he was because he was sleeping, but the pain had been enough to wake him in spite of her special talent. Yeah. We were just reading that on the bus, so we were like, we can't keep reading this in public. And Viv is, I'm generally quite a fast reader, but Viv finished that sentence before me, and she was just audibly reacting.
It's just like, oh boy.
Yeah. Also, I do want to shout out this line. I didn't highlight this. Now she had years 8 times 4. Stephen, just say how old she is.
Also, it doesn't help. Like, I felt like your text is much bigger than mine, so I thought, it made it way.
I have made it a bit smaller.
Yeah, it made it way more readable.
Yeah, because
for anyone around.
Because I was on the bus, it was like a lot. I do usually have it a bit smaller.
Oh, I was picturing like children's picture book text,
Oh yeah, I mean this can get pretty big.
like
to
a
be
grandparent's phone.
fair. It's like my uncle's laptop, who can only have like one word on screen at a time.
Insane.
How big can I get this?
Let me see.
This isn't even the biggest it gets.
How many pages are there now?
Oh, I'll check. Let me make it as big as possible.
These clips of Joe saying this are going to be great out of context.
I crashed.
Oh, great!
I crashed co-reader.
Nice one.
Let's see if it starts it back. It's gone.
It's gone.
Just use your hand to make it bigger.
Just give it a little spit.
Why are you both making this weird? I'm talking about reading.
What do you mean?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? We're talking about you fixing your Kindle. What the fuck are you on about?
Yeah. How else are you going to do it if you don't use your hands? You need your fingers to do that to make it bigger.
Yeah, just flick it.
Ow.
Doing. It's like a door stop.
You may never know.
Okay.
If it loads, I'll interrupt, I guess.
Okay,
fine.
the 2019 motion picture by Mike Flanagan.
Oh wait, it's up.
Fuck's sake!
It's better for it to be now than like it come up in 5 minutes.
Okay, so the film. This film started work in 2013, shortly after the book was published. I understand the book was published on September 24th. So
Yeah, this
I
is
didn't say
part
the
of
actual
the
dates.
Stephen King production line of before it's even published. It's just like everyone's just purchasing it for the rights.
yeah. And to be fair, Warner Bros. Have don't know about Warner Bros. Now because of stuff that's happening. I'm not going to get into that. But Warner Bros. Have a lot of the rights to Stephen King stuff and had the rights to The Shining. So they put this into production in 2013 and hired Academy Award-winning writer-producer Akiva Goldsman to write the script.
Yeah.
Akiva Goldsman won the Academy Award for A Beautiful Mind, also wrote Batman and Robin,
Yeah.
I Am Legend, and the 2017 movie, The Dark Tower.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's the Dark Tower link.
Ah, cool.
By 2017, no further development was happening until Warner Bros. Had a really big hit with Stephen King's It. And off the back of that, they wanted to just get some more Stephen King stuff into production, so they hired Mike Flanagan to rewrite Akiva Goldsman's script. In the end, Akiva Goldsman did not get a co-writing credit, but is on there as an executive producer. Yeah.
Maybe he should have. I don't know. Depends how much he rewrote, I guess.
Yeah, like it's clearly adapting the same book, so there's got to be beats, but it's probably like a page 1 rewrite, I imagine. That he did. When it comes to Flanagan, his whole idea was to reconcile the differences between the Shining novel and the Kubrick film. And when he said about this to Stephen King, at first Stephen King was quite understandably a bit hesitant.
No, I hate that cunt. I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Stephen's in the room with us.
I'm gonna kill him again.
What do you think about Charlie Kirk?
I shot him.
Just for reference, that wasn't Stephen King. That was someone completely different.
It was
For legal purposes.
Yeah,
Stephen Queen.
Stephen Queen.
Steve McQueen.
Stephen Queen.
Anyway, when he did mention to Stephen King that he wanted to do this, he did turn him around on the idea by pitching the scene where Dan talks to the bartender, in quotations, and basically used that just to illustrate how he was going to bring that world of the Overlook into this film. Stephen King gave him a thumbs up because he thought the script was pretty damn good. And, Mike Flanagan had already done Gerald's Game at this point, which is another Stephen King adaptation.
Was that his first adaptation?
Yeah. Well, first adaptation of King, at least.
Yeah.
He's done 3 at the moment. Got a 4th on the way.
Yes, he does.
What's that one?
Carrie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Doi.
There have been some other ones he's been involved in that didn't go anywhere, like Revival, I believe he was working on at one point.
Originally, The Dark Tower he was going to do a version of.
Yeah, we'll see if that ever comes to fruition.
Hopefully by the time we get to it in 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So filming began in September of 2018 in Atlanta, Georgia, completed that December, and then was released in the UK on October 31st, 2019.
Your
Vivian's
birthday.
It's me.
I wonder if we went on your birthday. I mean, I probably got my ticket. I probably could have checked.
It's not. I saw when you logged in on Letterboxd.
Did you?
Yeah, it was the 2nd of November.
Fair.
Oh,
Yeah.
2019. I wonder what we would have been doing.
going to the cinema.
Yeah, but not to see
Well,
Doctor Sleep.
well, you must have come back from university for like the week.
Oh, yeah.
Because we saw we saw The Shining. Sorry,
Oh, there
in
you go.
cinemas.
Well, yeah, which means I must have as well for some reason.
There you go.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Can't remember.
Yeah, it was actually released in the US on November the 8th. It in its opening weekend in the US, it came in second at the box office with 14.1 million. The budget for this was somewhere between 45 and 55 million. So not a great debut.
Yeah.
It came in second behind the movie Midway.
What the fuck is that?
It's a Roland Emmerich war movie. It's got Woody Harrelson in it.
Damn,
The only
like
reason I
Woody
know about
Harrelson.
it is because when we saw The Shining, they had a huge poster of it while I was waiting for Viv to finish in the bathroom.
See, I was in uni at the.
Don't
at the
say
time.
finishing.
What
God, I love The Shining.
What other word would you use?
Clean up.
Cease pissing?
Clean up in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Way worse.
One thing you need to know about Viv is
Clean up in aisle 6.
she has the bladder of like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know.
Girl peas.
Yeah.
It's because my medication.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because of the hormones I'm on. It fucks with my bladder.
That's fair.
Unironically.
That's fair. But
I would
that's
have,
why I know the movie Midway is.
I would have never heard of Midway because I was living in a place at the time which had one cinema, one screen, and most of the time they only showed like the box office movie, which I guess would have been Midway, but they definitely didn't.
Well,
show
it
Midway.
wouldn't have been
okay.
at this time because I do have the UK information. In the UK, in its opening weekend, which was Halloween, it came in 4th at box office behind Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, which was in its 3rd week of release.
Damn.
The Addams Family, the animated movie, in its 2nd week of release, and number 1 at the box office was Joker in its 5th week of release.
Crazy.
Damn.
People are going crazy for Joker fever.
Yeah. To be fair, I saw Joker in cinemas and I didn't see Doctor Sleep, so maybe I'm part of the problem.
You are.
Yeah.
That's why we haven't got the Doctor Sleep musical sequel.
Yeah. So ultimately, when it completed its box office run, domestic was 31.6 million, international 40.8, for a total of 72.4 million. This lost money for Warner Bros. It did not break even.
Damn.
Prior to the release, Warner Bros. Had enough confidence in the film being a success that they hired Mike Flanagan to write a prequel focusing on Dick Halloran.
Oh, I saw that.
Obviously,
Yeah.
once the film flopped, they were just like, no, let's scrap that.
No, I want my Halloran movie.
But-
Imagine all the shenanigans he would have been in.
But Mike Flanagan has also mentioned, which probably isn't going to happen because this was a financial failure, but he was interested in writing a sequel focused on Abra and had consulted with Stephen King about the project.
I know he's genuinely tied to Netflix, so it's kind of difficult to say, but has any of his theatrical films
No,
gained money?
don't think so.
Damn.
Like maybe like Oculus, but that's probably because those kind of horror films are made on like a really small
Yeah.
budget,
Yeah.
Blumhouse style.
Yeah.
So
It's a
just
shame.
it's hemorrhaging money from Netflix because they gotta keep because Netflix got they got fake money, but they got
Yeah.
money.
Hey, he's working with Amazon now. They've
Yeah,
got
not even Netflix anymore.
fake money.
Oh
they,
yeah,
they pissed him off.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause,
Midnight Club.
He genuinely left because of that.
I don't know if that's why he left because I think by that point it was confirmed he was going to be with Amazon.
Mike, send us an email just to
But
let us know.
Yeah.
But it was around the same time then that Midnight Club got cancelled. So I think he was going to maybe work with both, and then they cancelled Midnight Club, and he was just like, "Well,
Fuck you.
Yeah, he's like, he wasn't in the process of making anything new for Netflix.
Mm.
So who's to say if he's ever going to work with them again? But I think it's like, I'm going to make Midnight Club for you
Damn,
and this for Amazon. Oh, you want me to cancel Midnight Club? Okay, I guess I'm just going to work with Amazon then.
I guess considering now that Warner Bros. Owns a lot of Stephen King IP, if that's now going to Netflix, if he does want to
going
adapt
back.
certain things, he'll have to.
That's rough.
Yeah. I don't think they own the rights to The Dark Tower, though.
He's going to bring back the Dollar Baby scheme just for him. The fight,
I
whatever
hope
the
he brings
fuck
it
it's
back.
called.
We can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was also some other things developed off the back of this, which I can kind of get into later on, or I can just go through now.
Oh, God.
It's only a little like detour.
I'm interested.
So obviously these spin-offs, so to speak, the prequel and the Abra film didn't happen. But in April 2020, a TV spin-off of The World of The Shining was announced to be in development from J.J. Abrams
Yo.
and his Bad Robot production company. Now, Abrams had produced Castle Rock,
No, yeah.
so another King adaptation, which was successful. I think it ran for 2 seasons, at least 2 seasons, I'll say. It was intended for HBO Max. Abrams would produce, while Dustin Thomason and Scott Brown, both of whom were writers on Castle Rock, would write the show. Originally, it had been conceived as a feature film prequel about the Overlook, with Mark Romanek directing. He did 1 Hour Photo and Never Let Me Go.
Oh, cool.
So I guess that kind of brings it back to us talking about Robin Williams in the past. And Glenn Mazzara of The Shield and Walking Dead as the writer. Obviously, that was abandoned and turned into this show. Scripts were written all throughout COVID, and in August of 2021, HBO Max executives decided not to proceed with production, saying it didn't fit their slate, but they liked the project. They allowed Warner Bros. TV and Bad Robot to shop the series around, and in 2022, it was picked up by Netflix.
Oh.
As of right now, it's not being produced.
Yeah.
But they have it.
Yeah.
I'd love
Just
to
like
see
they'll
their
have
vaults.
everything.
Yeah.
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 Except physical media. We're never going to get that Midnight Mass Blu-ray.
If I saw Mike Flanagan in person, I would beg him to just make one behind their back and just post it.
Just like a bootleg of
He
his own
has a
stuff.
podcast. He hasn't done it in a while, but he has a podcast about directors' commentaries. If he was just like, I've done commentaries for Midnight Mass, either on the podcast or like Patreon or something, I don't know, I would just make my own, to be blunt.
I saw a video yesterday on YouTube, recommended, talked about the state of Stranger Things on home media.
Yeah.
So they gave the first 2 seasons Blu-ray, DVD, and
I'm genuinely
4K
surprised
releases.
about that.
Yeah, but they haven't done anything else, and they've been saying for like since that kind of just like, oh, don't worry, we're still doing season 3,
Mad.
and these came out like in COVID or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
It's not going to happen. I'm surprised that like they let Criterion do like The Irishman or Marriage Story.
I know that's not the biggest like money maker, but I just don't get why not. Like, yeah, make them rare products or whatever. But like,
Yeah, just like even like doing a Criterion where it's like it's a niche market, but they're like very loyal to them.
Yeah.
But like, I think with home media, it's going to come down to the big studios are not going to be making them anymore, and it'll be down to like the boutique labels, like your Arrow Video, your Vinegar Syndrome, your Indicator, your Eurekas. All of these companies
just like license them out for a little while.
Or even just then, it's like, you know how Spotify has like a shop for like merch and stuff. I've never built anything on there, but like artists use like Spotify's own shop for merch. If Netflix just like had a storefront where it just had Blu-rays of their own things, and like even if you just did limited runs, and like, you know, the fucking forced scarcity of it will then be like, will at least get more people to buy it than usually would. I just don't get
That's
it.
one thing I'll say about Disney. They put like the Star Wars and the Marvel shows on like 4K Steelbook. Yeah, it was like a scarcity thing, but you know, they did it.
That's the thing, just what annoys me is these companies are so driven by capital, but they're not even that good at capitalism.
They're not even good at it.
Forced scarcity is like such a money maker.
I don't know, maybe.
And it's just like,
genuinely, like, I want to look at their books, because like there's got to be like some sort of tax avoidance reason otherwise.
I just don't get it.
Netflix are the Nintendo of
yes, they are.
like home media.
Yes, they are, because that's always pissed me off about Nintendo as well. Just like, oh, they won't lower the prices. You will make more money. Isn't that your thing? Isn't that what you want to do? I don't know.
It's a whole thing. And with this whole acquisition at the moment of Warner Bros. Buying Netflix, it is kind of a shame because Warner Bros. Is one of the better companies at putting out physical media.
Especially like classic works as well. Like they own TCM, which is just like a huge library. They're very well known for like preserving older films. And with Netflix buying them, who the fuck knows if they're going to keep that around?
Yeah.
But there are even like new films that don't get physical media released. Like Disney only do it for certain films. Paramount, they do them, but they don't really put that much effort into it. Lionsgate do some physical media, not everything. Universal do it, but they tend to do this thing where they put out Blu-rays of certain films, and then a few months down the line, then they release a 4K version.
Yeah.
Just because they're just like, oh, we're not going to do this unless there's like a clear appetite for it. So I think it is going the way of the dodo, unfortunately, which is a shame as somebody who does collect physical media and has a pretty good collection.
Speaking of Netflix, I have got my list of the cast that have appeared in Mike Flanagan's other things.
Okay, I'm going to take like a 20-minute nap while you run through all these, because I know there's just so many of them. So
there's going to be our Dr. Sleep.
I'm going to go to sleep, but I will listen to you when I edit this.
I can just not do it if we don't care.
Did we say that?
No, we're not saying we don't care. I for one, will have to listen to this again anyway.
It's not that long. Like, it's a long list, but I've got them grouped. So we've got Abra, who's just on her own. Kylie Curran. She is in the House of Usher. She plays a very good character in House of Usher, actually. Not one of the mains, but she has a very beautiful scene in it. That's fine.
we're just joking.
Yeah,
We're
doctoring you sleep.
You don't want to say how Carol Strukian?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's how it's pronounced.
Strukian? I don't know. Yeah, so Grandpa Flick, Carol Strukian, and Bruce Greenwood, Dr. John, are both in Gerald's Game, so we'll be seeing them again.
Did
you... Oh, I suppose... Yeah,
as soon as I saw him, I was just like...
recognize him?
I was just like, oh shit, that's...
Yeah, he's got a very distinct...
And then I got confused because me and Joe had a conversation the other day.
Yeah, I was
where
really dumb.
you mentioned just like, it's the same... I think like inadvertently you said it was the same characters in Gerald's Game. I was just like, that's wild.
Yeah, you said... I remember you said, I said about the same guy, and you said, you mean character or actor? And I got confused and said character.
Yeah.
So...
I was like, oh cool, he's gone on side quests.
So yeah, 2 Gerald's Game.
Imagine in the middle of the movie, it's just like, I'm going to go to a cab in my life and you don't see him for the rest of the movie.
It'd be like that guy and it was just an accident, just like, I'm leaving.
I'm done.
Oh, shit, he's leaving.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, that'd be really funny, actually. In terms of just mainstays who are in, like, all of his Netflix series, you've got Henry Thomas, who plays the bartender.
Also in the worst film ever made.
What film is he in? That's the worst film ever made.
E.T.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's Elliot.
Is he?
I thought you were going to say
Yeah,
I
E.T.
never knew that he was the kid in E.T.
Yeah, he's Elliot from E.T.
That's wild.
We don't visit this movie often.
Yeah, I specifically don't watch it because you were afraid of him.
I watch so
ally.
much stuff with Windows.
That's fair. I'm an ally. He's in pretty much every single Netflix show.
Yeah.
Katie Parker. A lot of these people are also background characters. Katie Parker, who plays Silent Sari, is also in a lot of his shows. Silent Sari is actually a major part of the end sequence in the book. She is like the only one left alive to work with Rose the Hat, and she like sneaks up on Dan while Rose is talking to him. Which is really funny because like she's just a background character, but I couldn't even point you out in the film. Alex Esso, who plays Wendy, she's in she's in Bly Manor, Midnight Club, House of Usher. You would recognize her, Viv, as the mother in Midnight Mass, the one who starts out as an old lady and gets younger.
Yeah, she Benjamin Buttons.
She does. Then I've already mentioned Robert Longstreet, Barry the Chunk. I'm not calling him the other name. He's in Hill House, Midnight Mass, Midnight Club, and Usher. Now we've got the Chuck group.
There is actually someone from the True Knot.
Yeah.
Who isn't even an actor, but it's someone who worked on like previous Mike Flanagan productions as a medical
Really?
advisor.
Oh, I didn't know that. To be fair.
And Mike, like he sent Mike Flanagan a text. At least he says this in the behind the scenes. Just like, sorry, I didn't get the role of like medical advisor, but I hope the shoot goes well. And he was just like, oh, we need someone to play this role. you're not an actor, but I think you'd fit.
That's
like
really
David
funny.
Lynch in Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Like half the cast.
Well, funny you should mention Twin Peaks. Grandpa Flick was
Yeah.
in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, it was.
He was.
Very unmistakable, very distinct face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's very recognisable, isn't he?
But it's cool seeing him and stuff.
Yeah. So we've got the Chuck group. All these people are in Life of Chuck. They were also in other things. First, we've got Violet McGraw as Violet, our girl from Megan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's so young in this.
She is. Fucking watch Hill House. She's like 5, maybe 4 in that.
What is she in this?
I don't know.
Watch Black Widow.
No.
Oh yeah, she's Black Widow, isn't she?
She's young Florence Pugh.
She's young Florence Pugh. I don't know. I'll have a look at how old she is now, and we'll just work it out. While I
Probably
do
older than
that,
us.
surely not.
No.
No.
She was like 7 when we were like 18.
Sorry. She's 14.
I mean, we're basically the same age.
You would say that, wouldn't you?
What do you mean?
Oh no.
Um,
Not this again.
she says, she was born in 2011. So yeah, she was like, what year did this come out again? 2019.
She was born the same year as Bag of Bones.
Damn, wild. Another kid, Jacob Tremblay, obviously in Life of Chuck as older Chuck. Well, not the oldest Chuck, but like
The middlest Chuck.
level 3 Chuck out of the 4 Chuck levels we see, who is 19 years old. He was born in 2006. He obviously plays Bradley, the baseball boy. He was also in Before I Wake, which is one of the Mike Flanagan films I've not seen.
Yeah, he's also
watch
been
it
in
one day.
other. I mean, he's been in a lot for a kid.
Yeah, he has actually, to be fair.
He's great in Room.
Yeah. It's really funny, and I know he said this in the Life of Chuck episode about how in Life of Chuck his name is over the things, even though he's truly in 5 minutes of that movie.
Yeah.
He gets the end line, like he gets the big bit, but you know. And we got Carl Lumbly, who is Dick Halloran, who is in For the House of Usher, and is Sam in The Life of Chuck. And he's also old Captain America in Captain America Brave New World, the super soldier guy. Do you remember
He's
that movie? I genuinely forgot that movie came out this year.
I love his voice. He's got a great
He has got a
voice.
great voice. And then just a bunch of small roles. So Jamie Flanagan, Diesel Dog, who is Mike Flanagan's sibling.
Yeah.
Yep, just is in this. I didn't know he had a sibling.
Yeah.
Better Street, who is Vito the Chopper, Selena Antus, who is April Nanny, and Logan Medina, who is the kid in the library, are all in Hill House, just as background characters.
Okay.
Some of these, it was really funny, because you know how Hill House has, ghosts in the background? I suppose you, it's just, a big thing of, if you look in the background of a lot of scenes, there's, ghosts that move the past that are filmed so subtly. A lot of the time you don't notice them. Some of the times they're very obvious. And a lot of these cast members are just they were this ghost in Hill House, and it's a pixelated image in the background. So yeah, that's cool, I guess. So yeah, thanks again to the person on the Reddit, who I can't remember the name of, and I didn't write down this time.
That's okay. Is that everybody you've got?
That's
written?
everybody I've
Okay.
got.
I'm just going to run through the cast who are not part
Yes.
of that core group. So we've got Ewan McGregor from Trainspotting and Star Wars as Dan. Rebecca Ferguson from Mission Impossible and Dune as Rose the Hat. We have Cliff Curtis from Avatar, The Way of Water, and Avatar Fire and Ash in cinemas now, and Sunshine as Billy. We've also got Zahn McClarnon, who's in No Hard Feelings and Echo. He plays Crow Daddy. Emily Allen Lind, who is in Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and also has a child, was a child in Enter the Void, which is
my
a
God.
wild link,
Oh, that's what I saw. Yeah.
as Snakebite Andy. I think you have covered everybody else there. But as far as production-wise, a lot of these people I'm just going to breeze through because they watch the Life of Chuck episode. It's long enough as it is. Screenplay by Mike Flanagan. Produced by Trevor Macy and John Berg. John Berg's got a very interesting career as a producer. Produced Elf,
Yo.
Meet Dave, Justice League,
Oh.
and a Minecraft movie.
Whoa.
And Doctor Sleep. Odd bunch of films. Wouldn't put them together as being from the
No.
same producer.
Are all of them Warner Brothers?
No, I don't think. Maybe. I don't know about Meet Dave. I know Elf is New Line, which is now owned by Warner Bros., but it wasn't at the time.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That was his in.
yeah. Music by the Newton Brothers, edited by Mike Flanagan. Edited both the theatrical and director's cut simultaneously, which is interesting. Director of photography is Michael Fiminari. Now, he's not the director of photography on Life of Chuck, but he is the director of photography on pretty much everything else that Mike Flanagan's
Yeah,
done.
you can tell he brings
Gerald's
the
Game,
green.
Oculus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something I was going to bring up later on. I did criticize the look of Life of Chuck, but
It's because he was missing the green.
Yeah, I like the green. So do you like the green?
not really.
That's fair.
He brings I saw someone when I follow on Letterboxd just being like he brought the Netflix sheen to the big screen. I was like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Costume design Terry Anderson, who worked on The Life of Chuck, also Gran Turismo, from Gamer to Racer.
That's
Do you remember
pretty
that?
sick.
From
Is
what?
that the one where
He
he's
was-
like,
he was
I
a
know this
gamer.
track?
Yeah, he
I've
knows the
raced
track.
it 1,000 times.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
only seen the trailer and like
Yeah, me too.
the bus ads. But he was a gamer and then he became a racer.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Pretty epic.
I was going to say, wasn't that Aaron Paul, but that was a different racing movie.
That was Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Rami
That was
Malek.
Breaking Bad.
Rami Malek was in...
Yeah, he was
Oh.
in Need for Speed.
I didn't know that.
Play Freddie Mercury.
Terry Notary is the movement coach. Terry Notary has got a very insane list of credits to his name. He's one of the apes in Planet of the Apes.
Oh, sick.
He was like the onset Groot in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame.
On-set Groot.
It doesn't sound like a character name. It sounds like a role.
Yeah.
He's also he primarily is a movement coach. He also did some of Kong in Kong Skull Island. He basically designed the way that all the creatures move in The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, Avatar, basically Planet of the Apes. Any time you've got someone playing a non-human, this guy is like the creme de la creme, and he designed like the movements for the True Knot, like when they're like huffing steam or some shit.
Oh, that's cool.
He's also in the movie The Square.
I've seen a bit of The Square. I haven't finished there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
So,
Square.
like, Rose the Hat and her entire group, they're supposed to be the antithesis of Danny by showing them, like, indulging in their desires.
Their addiction.
Yes,
Their
yeah.
addictions.
Yeah,
the-
I'd say so.
Like, they consume with, like, no disregard to extend their own lives, more or less.
Yeah, especially with the fact of, like, it's very obvious that a lot of the people that they take from are children
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, they're much easier to overpower and everything.
Yeah, because a lot of the steam base is
Yeah,
built
'cause,
on
like,
power
even
and
their-
fear.
Their entire, like, lifestyle can sort of be viewed from a certain point as, like, being hedonistic.
Yeah. I've seen people comparing that to Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
At least in the fear, just like having to take the steam. I didn't read it that way, but I can see why people would.
I had
put
to
two
think
and
about
two
it. I saw a
together.
letterbox with a review that was like, "This is basically Monsters Inc." And I did have to sit there for a minute and think about what they meant.
Yeah.
But I get it. I think it's relevant that with the whole steam thing being purified by fear, that I've already said the quotes that one of the big things in the Alcoholics Anonymous handbook is the fear is an acronym for obviously fuck everything and run, face everything and recover. And it's obviously a prevalent theme throughout the book of just how fear alters us, but also can be weaponized against others.
Mm.
And you even get that with Danny and how like his fear as a child affecting him into adulthood.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously driving both of their addictions in different ways.
Mm.
Danny drinks because he's afraid of The Shining, and Rose the Hat and
Because
the
you could
True
just
Knot
say
cause fear.
they
because-
cause fear because they're afraid of dying.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
Shall we talk about the actual movie then, like how we
Yeah.
feel about it? Because I just went straight into an interpretation there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm more interested about your opinion, Garen, because this is your first time coming with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I was really excited for this one. What a snoot! No, I actually quite liked it.
Did you?
That's good. I'm
Yeah.
shocked. I didn't think you'd like it that much, being honest.
Really?
Yeah, I think just knowing our criticisms,
Mm.
which I think are
I
pretty
have
concrete.
criticisms.
Yeah,
don't worry.
I don't know. I guess I was more hesitant. I was saying like, I can see a world where you don't really
Yeah,
like
because
this.
when we came out of it, I remember us being like, "Oh, that was pretty good," but we
Yeah.
were just like, "God damn, that Shining shit was really heavy-handed."
Yeah, and my opinion is still pretty much the same.
Mine
I
is
really
the same,
like
if
this
not
film.
a bit harsher. I
Yeah.
didn't like this as much on a second viewing, to be quite honest.
That's fair.
I saw you didn't give it a heart on Letterboxd. Is that just because we're covering on the pod? You
Yeah.
didn't want to spoil it? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd
Would you have given it a heart otherwise?
No.
Oh, wow.
That doesn't mean I hate it. That just doesn't mean I
Yeah,
really
it
love
just means you didn't really like it that much.
Yeah.
No, that's not true at all. I like.
It means you think it's worse than Perfect Blue.
I mean, even I'd say at least. What would you give it? Because you obviously don't put star ratings on all Hail King stuff.
I'll need some time to think on it. Because I watched this a few days ago. If we had recorded like right after I'd watched it, I think I would have been more positive. I have kind of been lingering more on the things I don't like about it in the past few days. But that's stuff that we can really go into it and just discuss. But I just watched the extended cut. I got the Blu-ray a few months ago, and I was thinking I might watch them both, but then I thought, well, I haven't really had a lot of time recently to just watch. It's Christmas time. But yeah, I watched the director's cut, and I think it's a really solid director's cut, at least. It's what I do find nice is it's broken up into chapters, which I know the theatrical version doesn't do.
No.
I quite like it that it's broken up into chapters.
Is it nearly 3 hours?
It's 3 hours exactly.
Goddamn.
Yeah. So six chapters. From what I understand, it opens up differently to the theatrical version. Does it open directly in the Overlook?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it
Yes.
opens up directly in with Violet.
And then it goes to the Overlook.
Theatrical.
Does it?
In the director's cut, it opens with Violet.
I watched a YouTube video comparing
I
the two
can't remember.
cuts.
I'm getting mixed up.
No,
now.
I think it opens with the Overlook. The grid pattern shows up, then it shows the trees, and then it shows Violet. Or is it the other way around?
No, because I've seen that video and it showed like the title card is different in both versions.
Yeah, because in the director's cut, where the title card is where it says Chapter 1.
Yeah.
So it must be switched.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I think the pacing I thought was pretty good. I know a lot of people do not like how slow and how long this is. I was really kind of enraptured by it, so I can't say that I found it to be sluggish. I do think, though, there are certain things that work much better than others. Interestingly, I think the least interesting... I used interesting twice there. Now I sound stupid.
Yeah, you sound like a fucking dingus.
No, I swear I'm better than that. I haven't eaten.
Give me a synonym.
Fascinating.
There you go.
There you go.
I found the least interesting part of this to be Dan, and I think part of that is Ewan McGregor. He does a good job.
Mm.
And there are two scenes where I'm just like, I really think his performance is good, but I don't buy him as the character for some reason. It just...
Do you think they cast him because they had the first scene and just like, who would look really good? Like a crack den right now.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor.
And he did look good in that.
and maybe it is because...
Next to that vomit.
Oh, yeah. That's
Maybe
gross.
because at the beginning he is like an addict and just like, I don't know. I always just like, the man he can deal with alcohol. He's been stuck on heroin for years. But yeah, I like performance and I like Ewan McGregor as an actor. But I don't know, I just don't see him as Danny or Dan.
I kind of agree with you in a way. It's not that Danny is my least favorite part of it. It's more that what they were trying to go for, at least in this film, I just felt didn't really work for me all the time. It's more like his sort of general like push and pull with alcohol, because it feels like he's pretty fine with it most of it. Then right at the end is sort of brought up once again.
Yeah.
I found the stuff with Rose the Hat very fascinating. I think it's the best part of the film by a
Rose the
mile.
Hat is fantastic as a character.
That's like my biggest takeaway.
And I just feel so it's just listen, he had an impossible task of what he was trying to accomplish. I admire the ambition of wanting to reconcile these two very different like adaptations of The Shining.
Yeah.
But I feel as though it's just like,
I think it's probably the best anyone could have done.
Yeah.
But
at the same time I was just thinking like, God damn, this is just like stuck in its shadow all the time.
Yeah.
Every time it like leaned back into it, I was just thinking like
it's doing it all, but it's doing it.
Yeah.
It's just I can't even like. I want to praise it because like obviously they put so much detail into recreating the
Yeah,
sets.
the sets look
Yeah.
beautiful. Like the shots are composed like at the same angles at
Yeah.
least. But
At the same time, I was just thinking like it's giving the uncanny valley a lot of the time for me.
Yeah.
And by the time it got
Yeah.
to there, it just felt extremely indulgent, and it just took me out of the story a lot of the time.
it does sort of feel like a heel turn when it's just
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like we're going to the Overlook. Mwah,
Yeah.
And with like not to
mwah.
skip to like right at the very end was like recreating the conversation between when Danny was like a kid and like obviously when Jack was like that sort of dynamic. Like
Yeah.
they're doing that like basically one for one. I was just thinking like this doesn't feel earned a lot of the time. This
Which bit do you mean specifically?
you know where he's doing the thing where he's just like he's about to kill her with the axe,
Yeah.
and they're doing that conversation that Jack and Dan did.
Do you mean,
And-
do you mean Jack and Wendy on the stairs?
No, like when he's already like talking to him.
Jack and
Oh.
Lloyd. Do you mean?
No, Jack and Dan.
Do you mean in?
Do
Do you mean the?
in
Do
this?
you mean the scene with
Yeah.
Abra?
Yeah, I
or-
know what you're referring to in this, but you're saying it's recalling.
Yeah, sorry. When it's like Dan and Abra, like it's doing the scene from the first one.
You mean when Dan is about to
Right.
hit Abra with the
Yeah,
axe?
yeah.
I think we got mixed up because we're thinking of the bit where he swings for Rose the Hat.
No.
Yeah. Which
but
yeah.
yeah, it's like obviously like it's supposed to be like a recreation of
yeah,
that scene in the book, but that wasn't in like the movie.
yeah,
I can see what they're going for, but again, that just like possession of Dan. Again, maybe if they like they showed like kind of I thought it was quite interesting in the beginning of the story when Dan was like sort of tackling these like alcoholic issues,
yeah.
and then he cleaned up for a bit, and then he was fine. Then right at the end, I can understand like this is probably like the hardest point in his life, but it felt I don't know, it didn't feel earned for me personally.
That's fair. I mean,
Yeah.
my opinion is kind of the same as when we saw it, except I've shifted slightly in different ways. So I agreed the first time we saw it, and I still agree now that it gets a bit too overindulgent at the end for me, but in different ways. Specifically, like I remember seeing specific shots, like Rose the Hat seeing the blood in the lifts, which I still don't love, but I've kind of come around on the sense of, oh, we're seeing the Overlook now through the perspective of someone who like has known about The Shining for years, and she appreciates it rather than is afraid of it. But then when it gets to the bit of like Dan chasing Abra, I don't really like that
I
sequence.
don't think it helped either that we're living in such a time in cinema where we've never been more inundated with like legacy sequels. And
Yeah,
seeing this
Yeah.
kind of version of the story, this such reverence, which I understand. I fucking love The Shining,
yeah,
but like the whole third act is basically one big like, isn't The Shining awesome? Isn't
Yeah.
all the
It-
iconography cool?
It's
Yeah.
it's the same effect I get from that one scene in Ready Player One. It's just like, wow, they recreated this really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
and like it's interesting seeing from the book to the film. So isn't the final chapter called like What Was Forgotten or something
Yeah.
like that? It's similar in the book, and the quote that repeats in the book, if you remember, and is in the miniseries of "You Will Remember What He Has Forgot," comes back, and you know in the book I can kind of see what Stephen King was going for in terms of going back to the Overlook, but it being like, you know, a shadow of itself. It's not even there physically, but the feelings are still there, the emotions. Whereas obviously in the film, it's a lot less the feelings and emotions are still there, and more literally the building is still there.
Mm.
The iconography is still there. And in some cases, I think they use it well. Like, I do like the idea of Jack being the bartender. I do have a criticism with it that's a bit of a nitpick. And I do indulge in a couple of shots, like the typewriter, the maze, especially when Rose and Abra are in it.
Mm.
I really like that one shot of the fucking box sneaking
That was
up
so
on Rose.
goofy.
It is goofy, but I like it.
Yeah.
And there's something about, I saw this on a Tumblr gift set a couple of months ago, like when I knew we were going to cover this, but before I'd rewatched it, of Rose on the stairs. And I do like that just in terms of like the showing again the power imbalance of like Jack had power over Wendy, Rose has power over Danny. But when it gets to the point of like literally like doing a chase sequence where Danny is essentially Jack moving the same as him
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
an axe,
I
it's
didn't really
just, yeah,
think.
it just doesn't work for me. I think that and it's like I said earlier, I think that when you're doing a Sins of the Father story, it's really hard to get right without just being like, oh, he's doing the thing his dad did.
Mm.
It's like, yeah, but you can take on things from your parents and not be like them. Sometimes you're the opposite of them, but it still affects you in that sort of way.
Yeah, there's still an after effect.
I'd be more interested in a world where Danny is course correcting too much, and he's like too afraid to be like Jack that he's making wrong decisions in that way.
Yeah.
Rather than he's literally just he's violent like Jack, except he decides to stop, whereas Jack didn't.
Well,
sorry, Aaron, can I add to
sure.
that? And that's why I don't like that he dies at the end as well. It feels like it's saying the only way Dan can fully get over this is by sacrificing himself. And I know that's probably not like the intended thing, but that's just how I see these stories when it's like it's like stopping the cycle of violence, but in a literal sense of dying to stop it.
It ends with us.
It ends with us. Sorry, Garen, what were you going to say?
That's okay. What was I going to say? Shit, never come back to me.
Okay.
Sorry.
But yeah, it's kind of difficult because like I didn't find Abra super interesting as well. The stuff I did find interesting about Dan was when he was with like the Alcoholics Anonymous stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that was quite interesting. I really liked that aspect of the story. But again, once it cuts to like the 8 years later, her basically shifts. I understand her purpose, and honestly, it sounds like the dynamic would have been slightly more interesting if she would have kept that sort of aggression.
Yeah.
I can understand how they probably wanted to turn that back because, like, I don't know, some people are just opposed to characters being angry in case they're being like,
especially a young black girl.
Yeah.
Some people would just take that the wrong way.
Yeah.
And but
I feel as though there need to be something there.
I do feel like Abra has a lot less drive in the film than she does in the book, and that creates more conflict in the book with Abra, like when she traps Rose the Hat in that mine sequence. And like obviously, it's showing how powerful she is, but also in the book, it feels like it's really showing how reckless she is. Obviously, it does the whole thing where
I think
she
that comes
thinks
across
about,
in the film as well.
I do, but I feel like there's more scenes like that.
Yeah.
Where you just get the feeling like where she's communicating with Rose. She fully speaks to Rose multiple times throughout the book without anyone else's knowledge. And almost just to threaten her.
Yeah.
And not realizing that Rose is still very powerful.
Yeah. I remember the point I was going to say.
Oh, great.
So before this, I had some questions about Dr. Sleep, like who was Dr. Sleep? What does Dr. Sleep mean? You confirmed that it was Danny. My theory of what the name Dr. Sleep meant was Danny, now older, was using his shining not to help like hospice patients like die comfortably. I thought it was going to be he's helping other people with the shining silence the voices in their head, essentially putting the voices to sleep. That was what I thought it was going to be. It's an inch,
Write your own fanfic.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's like a better like idea, but that's where I was just like, because I didn't really know like what this was about. I knew there were certain scenes. Most of the stuff I knew was like the Overlook stuff.
Yeah.
So that whole thing was just like, oh, that's an interesting like way to take the story. So maybe when I was like thinking of it in my head before watching it, I thought that he would have a different kind of agency in this story. Not that I don't feel like he has much agency, because he does do stuff, but I don't feel like this is Danny's story. I feel The Shining is Danny's story. This is Abra's story.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Abra, I don't feel like we get to know her as well as we get to know Danny, obviously. At least in the film. But one thing I will say is that the true knot, I think, is like the real hook and the meat of this story. I think all of that was like insanely compelling. That could be a story in its own right. And from what I understand, that is like a large part of the genesis of the story for Stephen King as well. At least in like the periphery stuff that I came across.
Yeah.
Was him talking about these RVs and there's people in them.
Yeah, you could tell, like, that's where, like, all the interesting ideas are. Like, just having this entire cast of, like, outsiders band together, that would be fascinating.
Yeah, because he even ties in with the fact that Dick says multiple times in The Shining and in this, where of just how good it feels to find someone else with The Shining.
Yeah.
And someone else, not only who has it, because, you know, it's implied in the film, confirmed in the book, that Billy has a little bit of The Shining, but not much to know. Like, Danny tells him in the book, like, he has it, but it's not enough to control. Whereas finding someone who knows about it and you can communicate it with, it's like you have Danny, who doesn't have that outside of Dick, whereas the True Knot have that with each other.
Yeah.
And I think even just in terms of, like, their abilities as well, how they kind of complement one another and have different roles.
I wanted to say, like, I think, like, they could have probably even expanded on Snake by Andy.
Yeah.
Like, because that was, like, a good way of just, like, showing you into this, like, world. Just, like, having this one character and then being, like, I don't know how to describe, like, groomed into it.
Yeah.
And then I felt,
kind of ironic considering her opening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
she's been, like, groomed into this sort of thing. So I was just thinking, like, oh, she's, like, sort of this window into this world. But then once she sort of, like, gets turned, and that's just sort of the end of it. She just sort of...
she's not really, like, as
not really
active a participant.
Except, like, when she's being used for her power, which I guess you could say, like, oh, they're being dehumanized. But I don't think that's necessarily true. They all have agency within there.
I think that's something the book does slightly better, but I think could also be improved on. Like with Andy, for example, she has like a relationship with Rose, where it's funny you said about polyamory earlier.
No, it's definitely
much,
like you could like read it. It's kind of fucked up. You could do a queer reading of this.
No, you can. And Rose is canonically bisexual in the book. She has a physical relationship with Andy. Obviously, in the film, Andy compliments her like looks.
Yeah,
but
then
it definitely has that inside it. But then one of my pet peeves with the book and with the film, more so with the film, is just the slaughter of these characters.
Yeah.
Like,
they get fucking annihilated.
I would understand if they brought in the kid from the 2024 Salem Slot to like wipe them out.
And in the book, there's one line where it's like, how are we going to explain this to police?
Yeah.
Like, oh, we killed them and then their bodies dissolved and disappeared because they have powers. And in the film, it's just like, what, Billy was just down to kill all these people? Like, I know he knows they're evil, but they're still people.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe it would be more formulaic if the book was like Danny meeting a group of these people at a time. But we only really get to see Danny be affected by someone else's weaponized shining twice.
Yeah, they don't really interact, do they? This whole group. The only real interaction they have like later on is when they actually have the final confrontation. I know Abra has like chats to them kind of bit, but I feel as though, I don't know, there could have been something where like they're obviously indulging in the addiction, and they kind of just like, oh, like why don't you like kind of like join us?
Like they hint in the book and the film about like getting Danny on their side, and I feel like in the film Rose does it too late, where you know it's after everyone's dead, and she's like, we could team up.
I feel like that would have been much more compelling.
Yeah.
Or even if like he was just with them for a while, then he left or something.
Yeah, just like join us. Instead of like maybe having like the alcohol, like make it less obvious. Like make it more symbolic of just like you're indulging in your shine.
Yeah. But I kind of go like, even us just like spitballing, it kind of goes to show just this idea of this like outsider group of like people who have the shining, and like they like getting it, like what they used to survive is like obviously like the most heinous thing, but like it's such an interesting dynamic that it creates, and I just wish it delved more into
even
that.
if they had it with not with Danny but with Abra, whereas they did groom her in. Obviously I think Crow Daddy is the one who says like, should we convert her, and Rose says like, no, she's too powerful. But in the book there is more discussion of that, and that'd be so interesting if Abra thinking they're the bad guys because she knows they kill children, and then being brought on and Abra being like, maybe I was wrong, and Dan having to get her out of it.
Yeah.
I think it's in the director's cut only where they mention the line of, you slaughter a cow, you have food for like a week. If you raise that cow and take care of it, you have milk for life.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and it's that same thing, you know, obviously Abra knows that they're like ontologically evil.
Yeah.
But that would have worked
She
so
literally
well.
saw them like torture a
I
child.
know, and that's an idea. There are lots of ideas within this world and with these characters. If we were going to get a spin-off, honestly, I would rather it be a True Not spin-off.
Yeah, because like the reference, like obviously, what's his name, Twin Peaks man,
Grandpa
was
Flick,
yeah,
yeah.
that he's old as shit and he's been around for like.
Well, that's kind of why I mentioned earlier on about the costume designer, because like they're all like out of time. They're all
Yeah.
from different periods of history.
Yeah,
and
they're all white trash.
Yeah.
they're not all white.
Nah, no, they embody the white trash. Rebecca Ferguson is.
Yeah, I do think like you have like these iconic performances in Stephen King films, and admittedly, I feel like I do worship at the altar of Rebecca Ferguson, but she
Yeah.
is so fucking good in this movie.
No, she is great.
She is incredible.
Yeah, I could easily see how you'd get groomed by her. Rose the Hat. She's beautiful.
You
She's
should put that on the
suave.
box.
you will get groomed by her. I will say, there's a detail in this I don't like that's in the book. This is a nitpick, but in the cinema scene, it specifically mentions in the book that Rose only doesn't wear her hat in the cinema because she thinks it's disrespectful. And then in
What
the
a
film,
queen.
she's wearing it. And I was just like, that's such a cute detail. I really wish they kept that.
When they're watching Casablanca in the book.
I can't remember, to be honest. They might have been. But I just thought it was a cute detail. And also at the end, this isn't a narrator voice, which was why I find it even funnier. That like it's not Dan or Abra who says this, but after Abra uses her shining to like knock Rose down and kill her, she loses the hat. And Stephen King, as the narrator, refers to her as Rose the Hatless.
That's so good.
I like the bit as well when she's in the grocery store, she loses the hat and somebody goes to pick it up. She's like, no, I'll do it.
Yeah, that's never
She's
really
so
explained, but there
precious.
is a line where she's just like, no one is allowed to touch my hat.
I like as well that she's got, like, in like one of the behind the scenes, she explains just like, there's like this sharp, like, knitting needle or something on there, and just like, this goes underneath like children's fingernails to torture them.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah.
That's
cool.
awesome.
Like, and she is reveling in it so much.
I will give this massive like kudos for not shying away from any of the child murder.
I think that I remember us saying like at the time one of the standout scenes in this is the murder of the baseball boy.
Number 19.
Yeah.
That was
Danny Lloyd.
a horrific scene.
Yeah.
Danny Lloyd's in that scene.
Yeah.
That scene's horrific. Jacob Tremblay's acting in that scene is really good.
It's really funny as well. In some of the behind the scenes, they're talking about it, and they were like, Mike Flanagan's just like, okay, that was really good, but we can't use your takes because you're all feeling like sad, and just like, remember, you're supposed to be enjoying this. Everybody's like really like not into it, except for Jacob Tremblay, who's just like, I'm game for this. And he's like one take where it's just like Mike Flanagan yells cut, and he's just like, I thought this movie was rated G.
That's cute.
It's really funny considering, the whole story of they didn't tell Danny Lloyd that The Shining was a horror. I just imagine
you
Mike
can't get around
Flanagan
that.
being like, right, they're torturing you.
Yeah.
Scream.
Yeah, I think they don't show it with the Violet. They kind of like allude to it, and then it is just more of like a payoff when it does. They do show more with Jacob Tremblay. What I think I enjoy. Obviously, I've not read this book, but seeing Rebecca Ferguson in this role, it's not 1-to-1, but I do see shades of Lady Jessica from Dune. Obviously, who she performs as in the Denis Villeneuve
Yeah, I see what
movies.
you mean.
And any periphery content to sort of like it's just going to devolve into me talking about Dune. But I love the concept of the Bene Gesserit and like Lady Jessica as a character.
Yeah.
So seeing like little like things that you can see that she's going to use in her performance, like a year or two later, whenever the movie came out, it's
Really? Well, like what kind of similarities?
it just I don't know. It's hard to like say exactly, but it's just like a tiny little like twitch of her eye, or like the way she like carries herself. Obviously, Rose the Hat's more like of a mysterious character, and having read Dune, I know a bit more about Lady Jessica and her like upbringing in the Bene Gesserit. So she carries herself in a different way, but like her physicality of her performance is just, she's great. Like even in the Mission Impossible movies, like which is a completely different character, she's like going toe to toe with Tom Cruise on those stunts.
I think it says a lot that I couldn't remember the cat, even though it is a pretty, well, not major, but like it's a notable aspect. The other cover of the book I think is famous, and it's the cover of the ebook I've got, is the one where it is Rose the Hat as like drawn in an outline of smoke.
There's a cat, there's a hat.
There's a hat. Yeah. It's only we put them together.
But also, I really like everybody else in the True Knot. I know there's like a lot of them don't really get much to do, but like Crow Daddy is like a big player. I don't know how much is in the theatrical cut that's in the director's cut, but I remember like the scene of Abra in the van.
Yeah,
that was quite long, but I really enjoyed it. Just like how like stoic and just like how like single-minded he is.
Yeah.
On that, like, just like
I
so lacking in compassion.
It's just like I just wish like you, because I wish we could have had more of those scenes like that for like all the different ones. So I feel as though when the massacre happens,
there is a good extra scene you get in the director's cut where they're looking at an iPad.
That's awesome.
And it's established that she created like a small earthquake when she attacked Rose the Hat in the grocery store.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Just to show her power. But even in the sense of Barry the Chunks scene where, like, just when he tells, I know, I'm so afraid I'm going to accidentally slip into the other name.
Just cut the part when he says it over the part he says it from now on.
Yeah.
Even when he just goes to tell them that Grandpa Flick has not got long left, I feel like, I can't remember the actor's name.
Grandpa Flick?
No, Robert Longstreet, Barry the Chunk. I feel like he's got a bit of like a sad tinge in his voice that he does really well as an actor. And it just makes you think, like, God, how many years have these people spent with each other?
Yeah.
But then when Grandpa Flick dies, they eat his steam anyway.
Yeah.
And I think it's so interesting. And obviously you get Rose's grief when the massacre happens and she's screaming horrifically. I feel like you could have done more of that. I feel like there is a way that you can have the child murder and they could genuinely still make us really empathize with these characters.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like it's a ritualistic thing where they don't like doing it, but they have to.
I think you could even have it where they like doing it and you still can't help but feel bad for them at the end.
If they just spend more time with their like personal dynamics, show them having a good time every now and again.
Like Rose loves Crow Daddy and like obviously she's angry when he dies. But I feel like that's a thing that I do have a pet peeve
I think there needs to be more tragedy with these characters.
Even with the flip side of things, I don't think Danny is sad enough when Billy shoots himself in front of him.
Yeah, no, he's like, oh!
Yeah, and then he almost relapses, of course, but that was like his best friend who only died because he brought him into this.
Yeah.
And,
I did cackle. I forgot she would just like kill yourself.
It's giving fucking David Tennant and Jessica Jones. But is that hot coffee? Pour it on your face.
Speaking of kill yourself, I do think, at least like visually, the design of them like dying is incredible. Just
you see their muscles.
Yeah, just like it's like shifting between like their skulls and then like they like matter.
It's giving the master.
Yeah,
when he's hungry. Of time.
Yeah.
I will say, like, that's pretty much
feeding time.
When he wants fish and chips.
It's impressive how they managed to translate that, because that's basically how it's described in the book. Of like you can see their veins and their like what makes them up as they slowly fade away, and they could have just found another way of doing that if they didn't want to do it. But the fact they managed it, I like that with the blue glow of the eye as well.
Yeah,
I like how that looks. I really don't like how the glazed over eye looks in the final
like milky.
sequence. I do not like that.
I feel the same, and I hate it when I see people online being like, "Oh, I hope we see Batman like that in the DCU." I hate like the milky. I just like even in like the Batman. If you just like watch that movie, just like you could see so much of Robert Pattinson's eyes. That's what gives the performance like weight. And I don't like these milky eye things. Like they do it in Deadpool and Wolverine as well.
I just think it's so, especially like with the fact of like, oh, they're using The Shining, we got to alter them somehow. Just be like, oh, he's locked in, he's got put her in the thing, and his eyes have gone white. I don't know, it seems like a last minute decision where they just don't know how else to show it.
It was kind of giving Sherlock as well.
Yeah, it's just
fighting our mind palace.
Yeah. I do like Rose doesn't immediately realize it's not Abra's mind though.
Yeah.
She's just like, damn, you've really redesigned this since the last time I was in your head.
What since we're talking about like aesthetics and visual things, I kind of want to bring up the green.
You want to bring up the
That's
green?
fair.
Yeah, it kind of I know it's like you even said like it's kind of a Netflix look,
Yeah.
and on the one hand, I kind of like that it's going for like a completely different visual aesthetic to The Shining, but then it all falls apart when they
Combine them.
combine them.
Yeah.
Like even like the iconic opening shot of The Shining, when they recreate that, and it's just like it's so dark and you can barely see anything. It's just like shades of like green and blue.
Mm.
Like I kind of appreciate what they're going for, but I visually I do just think it kind of
The
looks
one
like
thing I do like
murky.
that they took from The Shining and put in there, I love the crossfades. I think that works really
the
well.
crossfades are great.
Yeah. He knew exactly how to use them and when to use them. I thought that was great.
There's more crossfades in the director's cut as well.
Well,
from
I
what
don't have
hear.
3 hours.
I know, but if you like crossfades, you can just like
Yeah.
a super
Crossfade.
If I love
compilation.
crossfades, I'll open a Premiere Pro and just combine
I like the
everything.
star wipe person. I don't want to say like they're bad because they clearly have a lot of thought put into them. And I do like that it's gone for a completely different aesthetic, but it kind of once it comes to the end is just like, okay, what was the point?
Why was he in? Why was he in the fucking office?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That is. I agree. That is a bit overindulgent. However, in the book,
Oh,
I know it's not.
Actually,
No, but the thing is,
in the book, I don't care.
I agree. I agree in the movie. And like obviously I saw the movie before the book. But in the book there is a specific line, and I feel like it's handled better in the book that you can't really translate on film, where there's a specific line of Dan like thinking of like how his dad once sat in an office like this and accepted the job for the Overlook, and him just kind of grappling with that. And they obviously chose to interpret that by showing just the same office.
I was genuinely
Which
confused.
makes no sense.
I was like, wait, what?
so I can see
yeah,
what they
because
were
it's still subtle.
no. So I
Yeah.
can see what they were trying to do, but it just
I
doesn't
literally couldn't
work.
focus on what the fuck they were saying because I'm just thinking, why the fuck are they in the?
No, exactly. Maybe if they just made it like slightly similar,
Yeah,
just to have that. But no, I completely agree. And when I got to that bit in the book, I was like, okay, I can see why they chose to do that now, but it still doesn't work. Because in the book, you can have that internal monologue, and in the film, you can't.
Yeah, like, even at that scene, if you just looked at, you can kind of see the
you
color
can see the
grading.
green. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can see the green.
That's a better like side by side.
Can I see as well?
Like-
'Cause I usually don't.
Obviously, this is
Notice
shot
those things.
digitally, whereas The Shining was shot on film,
Mm.
and color is completely different between film, which captures it on little dots,
Yeah.
whereas you got pixels with digital.
That's a good way of
I
showing it.
wish I'm glad he went for a different aesthetic, but
I feel
maybe
like,
not our aesthetic.
I don't know, but I feel like the
Uh,
different aesthetic maybe wouldn't have been less distracting if they didn't directly homage
Yeah,
The Shining. Maybe if it stuck more closely to the book, where it didn't literally have the Overlook at the end,
Mm.
and you wouldn't be they wouldn't be directly comparing shots if they
Yeah.
didn't do the exact shots.
Well, similar to like how like the visual like language sort of like pulls from The Shining. What do you think about the music by the Newton Brothers?
Pretty good, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
hate it, which is like a pretty high compliment.
I think it's obviously it's using the Wendy Carlos themes, and I think it is a weaker version of those themes.
Yeah. Like as soon as those opening synths play, I'm just thinking like, God, this is slightly different and it's irking
Yeah,
me.
it's like
It's like a fart version.
yeah, they don't. It doesn't sound like it's got a much. I don't know. Like I don't know how to put it into like audio terms. I think you know this about me.
Mm.
I know more about like how to describe things visually, but it doesn't have the same dynamism and the same like boom. Woof
Yeah.
as like the sounds are so distinct in Wendy Carlos's work.
Mm.
Whereas even though I don't dislike the music in this,
Sorry, dude.
it does just feel like a lesser version of it.
I almost wish they'd had it where it was just you only hear the do 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 when the logo comes up at the beginning,
Mm.
and then it shifts into something else. And then we just didn't hear it again. I didn't like hearing it again later on.
Yeah.
Just like we
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Like when it was done in Zootopia,
That was
Perfect.
hilarious.
because we weren't expecting it.
Yeah.
In Doctor Sleep was just like, yeah, we know. Either that or don't do it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Just don't do it twice.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what you
I'd rather do it in the beginning than that scene. I just felt like.
Yeah. Like, okay, we're entering the shining portion of the film.
I don't hate when they use it at that point. It's just like I get it. Considering like they're gonna use everything else, all the rest of the language from The Shining, it would feel off if they didn't at that point. But yeah, then it just comes down to
Yeah.
a choice of like tastes. Like
Yeah, so I will say, I like the Newton Brothers' work on some of his shows. I've listened to the Hill House soundtrack and Bly Manor soundtrack, which has lovely piano melodies, very haunting, when reading a lot of horror books.
On Hill House.
But, what?
You said it was haunting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You'd hope so, if it's in the names. But, you know, it's not one I could really pick out the, like, themes of. When I started reading the book, actually, I was originally listening to the soundtrack alongside it. And I stopped doing that just because, I don't know, it's just kind of not clicking in my head. I didn't find it very memorable. But then I also didn't find it distracting, so that's also a plus.
what do you think about it ending with the same song? I do have the song here.
Midnight and the stars and you.
Yeah, that's it. Midnight and the Stars and You. With the Stars and You by Ray Noble.
I'm split. The second, when that scene was happening, I saw that fucking shower curtain in the back. I was like, oh, I know what they're going to do. Because, like, you could see the shower curtain behind Abra while she's speaking to her mother.
She's going to compartmentalize.
Yeah, I don't know how I
Suppress
feel.
that shit.
I don't know how I feel about that full stop of, like, Abra having to retrap the Shining demons specifically. Demons with ghosts, whatever. Because I understand what it's doing. Like, the trauma is passed on to her in a different way, but she's prepared for it. She's not afraid. She knows that she's capable of handling it. But I don't know, I do feel like it's a bit obvious of just the ghosts that Danny is dealing with are now Abra's ghosts, and that's not something the book does.
It does
Maybe
feel
if
like
she'd seen...
it's it does feel like it's a kind of unresolved in a way.
Yeah, maybe if she saw something like, I don't know, maybe if she saw the spirit of Rose or something like that.
Something unique to her.
Yeah. Instead, it feels like Danny's trauma is passed on to her. I don't know. Because, like, yes, of course she saw the ghosts of the Overlook, but she doesn't have any attachment to them. Or, yeah, so maybe if her thing was rather than trapping the Overlook ghosts, she had to trap, like, the true not ghosts. And it's just like how, you know, she has her own trauma, but she's more prepared for it. But, you know, I could see the clear.
I have one particular criticism, and this is something that I understand it's just exclusive to the director's cut. It's how when Abra's trying to do her whole parlor tricks, when Crow Daddy comes up and, like, injects her.
Yeah.
In the director's cut, her dad is just, like, standing by as he does that, and then, like, they, like, have, like, a chat, and then it's the shot of him walking out and him laying dead on the floor. It doesn't, I don't know, it's just like, why was he just standing there? In the theatrical version, because I have seen, like, that scene since, just because I wanted to, like, compare, it makes more sense. Like, it's implied that he would have killed him before going for Abra.
Yeah, I agree with that. That was one of the scenes where I was like, that was not handled better. Anyway.
There was one scene I really liked. I was just like, oh wow, this is, like, really interesting and distinct from The Shining. Which is, the stuff I liked most was when it was, like,
its own thing.
Yeah. And I think that was when Rose was doing her, like, Big Lebowski. Yeah.
You haven't seen The Big Lebowski?
No, please explain.
You haven't seen The Big Lebowski?
No.
Did you not come see it with us earlier?
No, that was Val.
Yeah.
I made the exact same.
Oh, cooler friend.
We had this conversation recently where I said I hadn't seen it yet still.
It's great.
It's because you didn't know who Steve Buscemi was.
Yeah.
Basically, in the scene...
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Sorry.
In The Big Lebowski, the dude is just, like, flying over...
it's like a dream sequence.
Yeah. And it reminded me of that. Obviously, it reminded you of that.
Yeah.
I loved that scene and like her going.
Yeah, it's very visually like interesting.
Yeah, just
it
like
was.
the way she's flying over everything, and it's like,
It's like she's swimming.
yeah, it's beautifully done, and just like obviously she's just like on wires or something, just like
No, it's
And-
impeccably done.
Yeah, it looks stunning.
yeah, and then she like goes in and does like the boxes,
Yeah.
and then the hand bit.
Two degloving scenes.
This man and his degloving.
Well, I was going to say they brought in the same person who did the degloving
Did
in
they
Gerald's
actually?
game to
That's
do
rude.
the.
They have a guy for that.
Yeah.
Imagine that being a good job.
Yeah.
I did think it looked pretty disgusting. I was like wincing.
Yeah. Degloving is that's
Like
one
I
of
haven't
the
seen
things.
Gerald's game since like it came out, but I
okay.
remember that being
No.
quite like unsettling.
Gerald's game is one where
That was way worse.
I hadn't the first time we watched that, like I didn't watch that scene.
I would say I'm pretty good when it comes to a lot of like body horror and like
yeah.
gore. But yeah, certain
Yeah.
things like anything with the eyes.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's the sensitive parts of your body. Eyes, hands,
Yeah.
other bits.
Teeth.
Teeth.
I saw the movie Immaculate in cinemas when that came out, which I know you two haven't seen.
I haven't seen.
But there's a bit in that where Sydney Sweeney has to like rip her like fingernail
Oh.
off,
Oh, yeah.
and I know a lot of people like I at one point did have to have my fingernail removed for like medical reasons. So I'm kind of like less sensitive to it, but in the cinema everyone was like and I was just like, oh yeah, give me this.
Yeah.
I love this shit.
Yeah.
Someone who's been degloved watching this. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
But no, I agree. I love that sequence. I love when the rooms shift and I love how they visualize the inside of people's minds, like with Danny's being the maze, Rose the Hat saying hers is a cathedral, and then it visually is shown to be like
Yeah.
that. Abra's being just filing cabinets. I think that's
I'm
very
surprised it's not something
interesting
from
way of
the
doing it.
world of Ruby.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Abra's got bad taste. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
She's
I
a
don't know
teenage
what
girl.
that is, but I've heard of it.
I watched 3 seasons of Ruby with a friend in uni who really liked it, and I was like politely enjoying it, and then it was
By
like,
Rooster Teeth.
yeah.
Oh.
And then after we got to series 4, and I was just like, can I just be honest? I've not thought this was good the whole time. So, yeah, it's
And it took
fine,
you
it's
that
just
long?
not- well, I was just politely. I liked this person. I was just politely watching it along because they liked it.
It's meaner the fact that you kept that to yourself.
I was eventually honest about it. I've gotten better.
3 seasons in.
Well, it's not like I was like, this is great. I was just,
But
like,
you
I'll
have
watch
you
more of
have
it.
such a clear endpoint when it's like seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you could have stopped
Right,
the
this-
season
okay,
one.
I
You
will say-
could have
I will
stopped at
say,
season
this
2.
is also a person-
Season 3.
This is also a person who was like, it gets good in season 3.
And
And then
then
it's just
you
like-
can't trust those people.
Yeah, and then it's just like, that was the best. That's what you're telling me was the best. Okay, then I don't want to watch the rest of it.
Oh, you got
It was
to
actually Abra.
you got to go through 8 seasons, but then once you get to season 9, it gets kind of okay.
That's what most anime fans are like.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, if you like Ruby, great. If you like Ruby, great. It's just not.
She was named after
Nothing.
a road.
She was named after a
I'm
road.
25.
That was very funny. Have you ever seen a tweet? It was, I can't remember the pretext, but it was something like M11 closed because of a crash. And someone quote retweeted it and said, like, this is a bad day for me. And her first name was Emma and her last name is Levin. So her name was Emma Levin. But I do really like that sequence.
Yeah.
And I love Rose when she gets thrown out of Abra's
Yeah.
mind and she's just flipping through the sky.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Speaking of like those type of sequences, then obviously it's way less visually like distinct because it's nothing like that. But what do we think of the reappearance of Red Rum?
I like how it's shown in the mirror first this time
Yes.
and then inverted.
That's something
I
that
thought
Mike
that was a
Flanagan
great twist.
added. In the book, it is just Red Rum, I
Nah.
think. So I do like that twist and it being, just murder. I like the chalkboard. There is a chalkboard in the book, but it's a small chalkboard. I like that they just like make it the whole wall.
Yeah. I will say it does feel a little bit over designed. Like it doesn't look
Yeah.
natural,
That's
but
fair.
it's a movie. None of
Yeah.
it is. It's a nitpick.
That's completely fair.
Yeah, I like when the room tilts. That's cool.
Yeah,
and him
Always love a
sliding
good room
I
tilt.
like
I
I,
do.
like it when she's like holding on to like the window and
Oh,
then it just
yeah.
tilts around.
That's awesome.
Yeah, how they
It's giving
visualize it.
2001.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just how they visualize the abilities in action.
Hmm.
I really enjoy.
Yeah. So as far as trying to make a sequel to a Stanley King.
Stanley King?
Stanley
You mean Stephen Kubrick?
Do you think they would have got along? The initials are the same.
Yeah. As far as trying to get a sequel to a Stanley Kubrick film goes, I watched 2010, the year we made contact last night.
And you preferred Doctor Sleep.
I think Doctor Sleep is the better of the two films.
Hey.
Obviously, both are based on books. Arthur C. Clarke, I think it's the 3 Odyssey books. And obviously this is based on the book Doctor Sleep.
The Iliad, the Odyssey, 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah. Can't wait for Chris Nolan to get to that.
Yeah.
That was a bad joke. Cut that.
No, I got to keep your bad jokes in. It makes our jokes look better.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was a terrible high five. Yeah. Yeah, I think when you are trying to work, obviously, in the framework of what somebody else has constructed, you are kind of bound by those limitations. In 2010, the year we made contact, it is also similarly quite reverential to the Kubrick version. There's like shots and compositions that are pulled directly, and sometimes they work, same as in this, sometimes they don't. I would have preferred it, again, if it did try to be more of its own thing. I think with 2010, it does feel like we are trying to do a sequel to possibly one of the greatest sci-fi films of all time.
I think part of what makes any sort of Kubrick-like homage or adaptation is that it's been so ingrained in pop culture. Like any sort of like visual reference to it feels almost parody.
Because I will say, like, obviously we get the shot of Dan looking through where the axe was, and then we get the shot of the axe going through the door. I am so glad they did not just show here's Johnny there.
Yeah.
Because honestly, in another world, I can just imagine them being like, you've got to include that.
I'm so glad that they didn't use footage from the Kubrick one. I'm glad they reshot it all.
Yeah,
Like,
all
the
I
bits they
appreciate
showed.
that.
I don't think they should have shown like Wendy going,
Yeah, that was
a bit unnecessary.
But I'm glad that when they did cut back, it wasn't just like, here's Jack Nicholson, because I think that would have made more of a disconnect
Yeah.
for audiences.
I appreciate the commitment to just, we are, especially in the earlier scenes with young Danny and Wendy, of just, they are different actors, accept it. This is so many years later.
And she does the voice really well.
She does.
Yeah, she got the kids down.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard her speak in the behind the scenes, and I'm sure you have in the other 50 Mike Flanagan show she's in.
I would say
But she sounds completely different.
Yeah.
Big criticism, she doesn't smoke. She'd be cigarette in hand every scene.
With the really long, like...
Yeah.
Yeah. Completely agree. And I think the little kid they got to play Danny is like a good stand-in for Danny Boy.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I got him here.
He looks like Jimmy Olsen in the news, man. I can't remember his name.
Roger Dale Floyd is the actor. He's...
I know who you mean. Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you know his name?
Skylar Gisondo.
Possibly.
From Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
Oh, bien.
Oh, I hated him in Licorice Pizza. Only for that one scene.
Oh, he's so good at Licorice Pizza.
He's great in it.
Yeah.
He's great. It's purely that one scene
What does
of
your
just
penis look like?
It's like, oh, I'm not Jewish. I'm not practicing. I'm actually atheist. It's like, my guy, read the fucking room.
No, I respect him. Man has values. He does not change them.
He didn't cross that line. No, fair enough.
I was just about to say as well, just like, I kind of, sometimes I don't mind the films are shot digitally, and then I was just like, you talk about Licorice Pizza, and just like, that looked so good on film.
He did though, didn't he?
70mm. Oh.
We'll be back soon. We'll be back.
I'd love to see something on 70mm.
Yeah.
We will.
Yeah.
In March.
Yeah.
See something on film.
Yeah.
Love to.
So, do we have any more like film notes, or do we want to go into like reception?
I think I've pretty much covered all of my film notes. I'm gonna have a quick scan.
Do you like that her name is Abra, as in
Cadabra?
Yeah.
In the book, her email address. In the book, her email address has Cadabra in it. I'm just like, girl, she's funny as fuck.
No, that's cool.
I'll give her that. I want to say about my nitpick with the bartender scene.
Okay.
This is a nitpick. Obviously, it's supposed to be Jack.
It's not DH Jack Nicholson.
No, that is absolutely not. It's supposed to be Jack.
That's another compliment I want to give to it. I'm sorry. I know this is pre everyone being brought back with AI and de-aging
Yeah.
by like a little bit.
I mean, they were doing it,
but
Yeah.
they could have really indulged with it, and they didn't. They recast, and I much prefer that.
Yes. So obviously it's meant to be Jack, but he doesn't know he's Jack. He refers to himself as Lloyd.
Mm.
When Grady was in the Overlook as a ghost, he knew he was Grady still.
Mm.
So I just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with it. Or I don't know. I don't know. I
Well,
think the whole
it's-
inclusion is odd.
I think with the director's cut, they kind of imply that it's different people wearing Jack's face because it's not Lloyd in the bathroom. And
You're
that's-
right, actually.
And
yeah.
that's Jack. Oh, well, looks like Jack.
Yeah, so maybe that's just my interpretation of it. I just found it a little confusing. I do like the concept of Danny speaking to Jack and it not like necessarily being Jack.
Mm.
It's the Overlook manipulating him. I just found it a little distracting.
Yeah.
Maybe, and it's if it was a scene, it's a scene I can see why they did it, but it's also a
I mean, it's what got him to make it. So
yeah,
I guess
yeah,
you gotta
exactly.
keep it.
I was going to
Imagine
say,
he pitched it, and Steve was like, "I love it," and then they cut it.
Yeah.
Just like,
it's
sorry,
funny
man.
It'd be like Christopher Lee in Return of the King.
yeah.
it's especially funny because it's such a good scene, and yeah, it's the reason King came across on it, and yet King's not the one who thought of it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he thought of putting Jack in at the end as one of the spirits Danny locked up, which is in the director's cut that he locked up Jack, but for Wendy.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting because it's implied he can trap that with other people. Also, a thing about The Shining I think is brought up only in the director's cut is Danny tries to lock away the memory of the woman he took money from.
Yeah.
And Dick tells him you can't lock away that sort of stuff. So you get a little
Yeah,
more
In
explanation.
the
of,
director's
like,
cut, we do actually see him take the money as well, which I
Yeah.
don't think we do in the theatrical.
Oh,
If
there's that.
if a video by Dead Meat that was posted
Mhm.
like 4 years ago is anything to go by, I know you like Dead Meat.
Those hacks. No, I do like Dead Meat. I do like Dead Meat. Just some days I'm a bit more judgmental of them than others. I hold them to a high standard because they are like the horror YouTuber.
Mm.
So I love them.
I mean, I've never been subscribed to them. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Like I've seen some of this stuff.
And I've watched.
It's not the one
them,
I think of as the horror YouTuber.
What do you think of as the horror YouTuber?
Brian.
Cinemask.
Hell yeah.
Sick.
No, they make horror films.
Yeah.
That's different.
I've been subscribed to Dead Meat since like 2018, like when I was in uni, like early Dead Meat. So it's great seeing them blow up, and they do a lot to try and still have the horror space. And I do prefer kill counts and things like that now, where a lot of it is just behind the scenes and information stuff. But yeah, so there was a period where I was just kind of like, I feel like these guys are just telling me what happens in the movie.
Mm.
But they try hard. They're cool. Also, I don't like seeing them in horror films. I don't like cameos with them. It's only
Are they
happened
in?
in Scream 5.
Were they?
Oh.
Yeah, they were in Scream 5 for like 2 seconds. Oh, maybe no, not the Halloween. I think it was just Scream 5. But it's only happened like once or twice, and every time it happens, it takes me out so much.
Yeah.
You can be fans of horror without cameoing in horror films. That being
Mick
said,
Garris.
Mike Flanagan,
Mick
if you
Garris
want
done
to-
loads.
if you want to put me in your films, Mike, please.
Mick Garrison. No,
Mick Garrison.
I will not be in a Mick Flanagan film. I will only be in a Mick Garris joint.
That's fair.
Oh, they should work together, put their minds.
Yeah,
Yeah, that would be sick,
Mick
actually.
Flanagan,
Mike Garrison.
my child.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all my thoughts.
Okay. If nobody has further thoughts on that, I'm just going to go through the reception. So we did already talk about the box office.
It's a flop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Well,
But it did get pretty positive reviews. So on Rotten Tomatoes, the film currently has a 78% critic score and an 89% audience score. On IMDb, 7.3 out of 10. Letterboxd stands at 3.4 out of 5. Cinema score, this got an A-, and the lowest of the bunch is the Metacritic score, which is 59 out of 100.
I'm kind of shocked that the cinema score got an A-, because I can imagine a lot of people going to see this being unfamiliar with like the type of sequel it is and being disappointed. just on how Cinema Score is calculated specifically.
Considering it was tracking for like 25 to 35 million opening, and it got 14.1, I think...
Where did they get these numbers? Do they just guesstimate?
It's a whole thing of Hollywood accounting.
Yeah.
Just based on...
Vibes.
It's a lot of numbers.
Literally gambling.
Yeah.
It's a lot of numbers.
That are clearly wrong.
I can see what you're saying, though. Maybe the people who went to see it are the people who kind of knew what to expect.
Yeah. Well, when it did flop, they were kind of people trying to figure out why. And here's some more numbers. I didn't take these numbers, Viv. Don't shout at me when
Why would you do this?
Okay. So, when people saw it at cinemas, at least in the US, 74% of the audience was aged 25 and over, and 57% of the audience was male or male presenting. So it seems as though this didn't really go for the younger horror crowd like a Blumhouse would.
Imagine a group of 14-year-olds clocking in for Doctor Sleep.
Bear in mind...
This is for the alcoholics.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, at this point, It Chapter 2 was still in theatres, and there were more horror films on the way. There was Zombieland 2, which was already out, I believe. There was, I think, the movie Countdown. Nothing related to the game show. Yeah. So, yeah, it's... I think that's why I think most of the people who did turn out and obviously would have been asked, hey, contribute to the Cinema Score. Because it's only like selected places they do it, like New York, and they only ask like a few theatres. So it's a very small sample group, but they're probably sampling from older people, and people who are going like opening weekend are more likely to have read the book and be like, I want to see this as soon.
In terms of an adaptation from the book, even though I acknowledged the changes and said what I prefer in the film and the book, I do think this is a strong adaptation of the book. Especially considering the films that it's working with. I do wish in my head there's a world where Mike Flanagan had to somehow canonize not only the Kubrick movie, but the miniseries.
What would you bring over? Elliot
Maybe
Gould?
just
the Hornets.
The Hornets, the hedge maze. The hedge maze is mentioned in the book. Not the hedge maze, the animals.
Ugh,
Yeah.
those dumb animals.
Yeah. He's like, I remember the animals used to stand there. And Abra's too busy, like, mind fighting Rose the Hat.
Stephen should have made a cameo as the conductor.
Yeah.
Ooh, where could Stephen have had a cameo?
Yeah, because he had a cameo in It Chapter 2. He should have had a cameo in this. He could have just been in the AA meeting. Just something simple.
That would have been too real.
Too much for him.
Yeah.
He would have been great as like one of the members of the troop, not just like...
Yeah.
He should have been Grandpa Flick.
Yeah.
On the floor just dying.
No, you don't see him, but then one shot you see him getting like shot.
It's what?
He hasn't cameoed in any of Mike Flanagan's stuff, which is interesting.
Yeah, considering they seem to have a generally positive working relationship.
Like, he's cameoed in... Like, we haven't done too many of them so far that he cameos in, but he does have a fair few cameos in his films.
Yeah.
He knows his Mike knows his limitations. So
Yeah, Mike's just like, you're not allowed.
He's seen Creepshow. Kaylee Curran won the Best Performance by a Younger Actor award at the 2021 Saturn Awards, which the Saturn Awards cover every 2 years.
Cool.
But she beat out people such as Roman Griffin Davis, who was nominated for Jojo Rabbit, which I think that's a strong performance, and she beat that performance.
I will
that's
say,
pretty good.
Kaylee Curran, I don't think she has too much chance to shine in this. Genuinely, if you ever watch end of episode, genuinely just seeing her performance in this has made me want to revisit the Fall of the House of Usher, because that show is full of so many of Mike Flanagan's mainstays that are big characters, and she plays quite a reserved character who you don't really feel like is important for a lot of it, but she handles it so well. Now that I've like gone back and seen this, I genuinely kind of want to go and watch that, which is obviously a lot more recent, and see how her acting has developed.
Yeah, I'd like to see her in more stuff. She hasn't done
Yeah.
a great deal since. There's a TV show that she's in, something about sulfur. Secrets of Sulphur Springs. Sounds like a made-up show.
Is it on
Classic.
Netflix?
I think it's Disney.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but well done to her. She got the award. That's pretty commendable.
Fucking Jonas Brothers Christmas movies, really, because every time now, because seeing as we've recorded multiple episodes since, every time we talk about an award, it's just like he got, she got. I'm just thinking of Andrew Bart Feldman being like, I got that EEE, got
Shout out to the Jonas Brothers Christmas movie.
Yeah,
It's
shout out
really
to Andrew
good.
Bart Feldman.
Yeah.
Fucking fantastic.
I want him
actor.
in more stuff. I want him in a Mike Flanagan, Stephen King adaptation. You're thinking, you're cooking.
He could be like one of those Stephen King jokey dick characters, like an Olsen from Long Walk,
Oh, yeah,
Richie from It.
Yeah.
He could carry that
yeah.
persona.
Absolutely.
When we remake Salem's Lot, I'm trying to think who we can be. We've already got the
Yeah,
main guys
Oh, yeah.
cast, which will be a reunion
Also
from
appeared in
from
Jonas Brothers Christmas.
Um,
I'll never learn the real name of that
Nope.
movie. It was a good movie.
he will be Mark or Mike and
Yeah.
or Mick or
Oh,
I don't know. There's so many.
Yeah, Mark, Mike, Mick,
Hi, Mike.
Matt.
Did you get a message from Mike this time round?
No, he didn't respond to me.
What did
Wow.
you ask?
I asked something about the cameras or something. I like how they used, like what cameras they used to recreate, and like if what they did to like recreate, kind of find a balance between their own look and having it match the Kubrick thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like, what's he fucking doing this time of year? Like what? Spending time with his family over the holiday season? Bullshit.
I think,
No, he's on
I think he
Tumblr.
listened to the Life of Chuck episode and he heard how much you hated the movie and how mean
Yeah.
you were about him.
It's so sad. I wish he would respond to me again. But alas, not all of them bangers. I will keep trying. And if in the future he does respond, I will say. The problem is he's got a pinned post on his page that's really long. So I can't see if he's been active unless I really scroll down. The most recent thing he reblogged was a gift set from Dr. Sleep, actually. So he's clearly following along with us. But it doesn't. Tumblr doesn't show dates.
He's preparing.
So I
He's like,
can't
oh, I
tell
need to
you.
watch this before they cover it.
Yeah, so I can't tell you when he posted that. It is the scene though of Dan speaking to Abra where he says "You shine on" at the
It's
at
like
the
the
end.
song.
It's like the song, which is like the thing in the book. But yeah, any final notes?
Other than it's the end of the year, and I just want to say how appreciative I am to the two of you for going on this
The
journey
true
with
Christmas
me.
present I have this year.
The
is-
real sorry.
The
time
real all
spent-
hail Vikings with the,
with the friends we
we
made
made
along
along
the
the
way.
No, genuinely, I won't get too sappy on here because I've already been sappy outside of here. But just like this, being creative and doing these podcasts have like been my main driving force of doing shit. You two especially know, like the back half of this year, I've basically not wanted to like in my own head do anything, but having these is genuinely just like a well, fuck, I have to do this, which sounds like. I'm making it sound like it's a burden, but no, it's genuinely just like a driving force. Like I said,
You are Sisyphus, we are the boulder.
yeah, I said at the start, like, how much this has got me back into reading. Like, I already read a bunch, but, like, just in terms of my analytical reading, I find especially, like, yes, I'm reading faster, and I know a lot of people criticize, this time of year, there's a lot of talk in the book space about, like, oh, this person's read 100 books this year. I bet you can't even name half of them. Oh, well, am I a real reader? I've only read 2 books. And it's like, just fucking do what you want.
Yeah.
But I'm saying
it's
this
not
as
a
someone...
competition.
I know. I'm saying this as someone who has read, like, last year I read, like, 50, 60 books. I don't know how many I read this year because I've read every fucking Beast Quest book. So it's really skewed the numbers.
Oh yeah, can't wait to finish that video next year.
Yeah. So no idea. Looking at them on my shelves, I mean, there's literally, like, upwards of 150 of them. So I don't know how many actual books I've read this year. But, like, I feel like even though I speed through a lot of these books, it really has improved my, like, how I engage with these. It's kind of like, you know,
I
how
love
we
having
see
a
films of just, like...
I love having a formal book club discussion.
Yeah, and it's like how we see films, where it's like, lots of people they think that they watch films, but then they watch them like with their phones and things like that. And I'm guilty of that. Don't get me wrong. But it's when you really engage with that art and like you sit down and indulge in it that I think is really effective. And it's the point where, I've gained a massive appreciation for Stephen King, but also it's gotten me so much more interested in expanding when I'm reading outside of that. I've actually already started reading Carrie, which is what we're covering next, because I've already read it.
Yeah.
And I've ordered a book. I told you about this, Viv. I found an indie author on TikTok who's published their first ever book, which is 14 short stories. And I've actually ordered it. It's coming tomorrow. And it's just, doing this has really made me want to engage with media in a critical way. And it's encouraged us, I feel like all of us, to think more creatively in our own sense of wanting to do stuff, hopefully next year, and carrying this on.
Yeah. I feel like this has sort of like established a lot of the fundamentals of building stories. Like, I know, at least for myself, I've watched a lot of movies with you two on my own, and I do want to like channel that into something down the line, and we are actively working on writing things
we're so
together.
excited.
And I do feel like, at least considering the kind of stories I want to tell, this is very, very good fuel to that fire.
Yeah.
And it's also just a great excuse to hang out with two of the people who mean the most to me in life. So, shout out to Viv and Coco.
You mean the fucking one who keeps fucking up all the recordings?
Every single time. It's genuinely insane.
And Joe.
I'm
kidding, Joe. You're one of the two.
I feel as though I have a greater understanding of the production line. I love I love spending time with my friends.
Yeah, we kind of took all the good stuff.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know, something funny. That's pretty good.
Thank you.
I'll say, it's interesting. I love you too.
I love you too.
Oh, I love you too.
I love you too. No, I love you too.
I love you too.
I love you too.
I love you 3000. I always hated that.
What?
Yeah, it's kind of
fucking Iron Man when he's like, I love you 3000.
That's cool.
I think they kind of get away from it because it's from a kid.
But kids don't talk like that.
I love you 6'7".
That's what kids talk like. Kids don't talk like that.
Yeah, she really should have gone and just like, I love you 21.
You know what? Abra is good kid writing this when she sees the magician and she's like, I can do that. The amount of children where you're just like...
The audacity.
Yeah, kids will just straight lie. And I appreciate it. I think it's funny as fuck.
She wasn't lying though.
She wasn't. She can.
She could do that spoon stuff.
When he moved his hand though and the spoon was on his nose, I was like, how the fuck did he do that?
I can put a spoon on my nose.
Oh yeah, you can, can't you? I've seen
You
do that
can as
before.
well. Anyone can do it.
I don't have the skills.
I
There's
mean,
a spoon, I
my spoon has
But
got
I
like
think it's been in my mouth, so I don't use it. I don't know why it's there.
my spoon's got like indents for text.
Ah, true. More
It
grip.
throws it all off.
Yeah.
We should go to fucking Dragon's Den. Grippy spoon.
Grippy spoon.
Yeah, it's a spoon. It grips.
Onto what?
Anything.
What? Soup.
Yeah.
It grips soup.
Yeah.
The soup grip.
That's what they call me in bed.
Dunking your feet in soup.
Remember we being earnest 2 minutes ago? That was
Yeah,
nice.
it devolves.
Yeah.
Oh wait, where would you put Doctor Sleep in this ranking?
Right, ranking books. Bottom, Cell? No, Bag of Bones. What have I read? Me being like, I've appreciated literature so much more. Christina's up there. Right, okay. Let me skim over.
Do you want the list of all the ones we've covered?
Right, I've got it. Bag of Bones, Cell. I'm going to have to like kind of work from top and bottom.
Alright.
Salem's Lot.
This is so confusing for like...
You're right.
Joe,
I'm doing the hand
Joe,
motions.
okay,
Right.
you say it, I'll write it down, and we'll cut this conversation out, and we'll just jump cut to you saying the answers.
Oh, but I
in
like this
3,
better.
2, 1. So
Okay.
your favourite was Salem's Lot, then Christine, then The Long Walk, then Shawshank.
Then Shawshank. But I said The Shining then.
No, you did say The Shining.
I said The Shining.
Sorry, Long Walk, Shining, Shawshank.
Life of Chuck, Doctor Sleep. Not because I it feels weird to go Doctor Sleep.
No, this is just
Cell.
fiction.
You don't have
Yeah.
to just. You can be like, this is the barrier of just like, these are the bad ones now.
Well, yeah, like I like Doctor Sleep, and then it's Cell and Bag of Bones.
There's a big gap.
The gap between
Yeah.
Doctor Sleep and Cell is
Yeah.
fucking massive.
Honestly,
And, yeah,
I think I'm most surprised about Christine being that high. Not
Don't you
because
know that?
I don't think you didn't like it. Obviously, you did. I just didn't realize how much you liked it.
I was super passionate about
Should we rank our
I made a
books
YouTube
that
video
we've
about
read
it.
then?
Yeah, I thought The Shining was better than Life of Chuck.
that. You're going to join me on the next reading, though.
I am. I'm
You're
going to be
gonna read
Carrie.
the girl book.
Are you going to read Carrie?
No, but I am going to be reading something that we're going to be covering in May.
Yeah.
Are you,
Sizzle.
are you in... Oh, wait, I won't say.
I think I kind of did talk about that on our First Time Kings.
Yeah.
So
you did,
anybody any passionate fans who are going across podcasts, they might know what we're building up to in May.
Yeah. I might reread. I highlighted it the first time because originally we were going to start with Carrie. I can see it on my shelf, Out for Blood, which is the story of the Carrie
Are you going to
musical.
reread it?
I probably won't reread it in full because it's a very heavy factual book, but I'll skim through and make notes from my highlights that I made.
Okay.
I don't know when I'll talk about Carrie the musical.
Probably in the first one.
the
I would say
Yeah.
the second
second
one is
one's
full.
going to be very
Okay,
busy.
for reference, with like we do with like when we did Salem's Lot, we did all of them, and we're doing all the Shinings now. We're going to start the new year with Carrie. We're going to do the first episode completely devoted to the Brian De Palma film, and obviously we'll discuss the book as well.
Yeah.
Then in the subsequent episode, we will talk about the 2002 miniseries, the 2013 movie, and the 1999 sequel, The Rage Carrie 2. And
I
somewhere in
think
there,
then-
we'll put in the musical.
Probably I will talk about the musical in the first one because even though Brian De Palma's film is the one we're going to get the most out of, the musical was the second adaptation in a sense.
So it works.
It came before the rest of the adaptations,
Yeah.
and it was a big thing about how it's pulling from the book and kind of inspired by the success of the film.
Okay, perfect.
So it won't be a massive tangent. I am going to try and watch it. There's not a great quality. There's not a pro shot, and a lot of the qualities I've seen is cams. But it has a very
More like
devoted.
an amateur shot.
Yeah. But there is a very devoted. I think I've shown you a bit, Viv. If not, maybe Val was there when I found it. Very devoted fan base that has created from like the
Oh, yeah,
soundtrack. Yeah, from the soundtrack that we do have an official recording of, and a lot of the archival footage. Essentially, like the best way you could watch it, just all the footage possible cut together for the best quality. I'll probably watch that. I don't expect you to. Maybe you'd get something out of that, Viv, but if you're bored over Christmas, I'll send a link, and if you want to watch Carrie the musical. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about Carrie. I've already started rereading it because the book I'm getting, that I'm going to read next, the short story book, isn't arriving yet, and I've read it 3 times. We'll talk about it. It's Carrie.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited.
So
I love Brian De Palma, so this will be great.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing next. If you do want to send in your thoughts on any version of Carrie or just the book, you can email them on over to us at allhailthekingpodcast@gmail.com. You can send in your thoughts on any Stephen King adaptation. If it's one that you're really passionate about and you've got thoughts and we, for what reason, we don't have it scheduled, we may make some tweaks.
You should put the email in the description.
I should do that. I will do that.
There you go.
Thank you, Viv.
Yeah.
Speaking of emails, though, we received an email 2 days ago.
Did we?
Yeah.
Is this,
So I'm going to read this to you.
is this another bit?
Your storage is 50% full.
I saw that email.
All Google accounts give you 15 gigabytes of storage. You can use that storage when you send and receive emails on Gmail,
That's
back
actually
up
from Mike
Google
Flanagan.
Photos, and create and upload files on Google Drive. If you use all your storage, you may experience interruptions to these services. So thank you. I've been working at clearing out the drive ready for the new year. But if you want to send
Wow.
any more interesting emails than that, you know where to go. You can also get in contact with us or follow us on the socials. On TikTok and Instagram, we are All Hail the King Podcast. You can find us on YouTube at Pod One Out Studios, where there is also another podcast that you should check out.
Yeah, first time flyers. So at this point, we're almost done with our Nicktoons season. We were ending the year off. If you come back the day after New Year's on January 2nd, you'll get a bonus episode with Garen in it.
I'm
Yeah.
there, yeah.
And then after that, we're going into the CW superhero shows, which I'm very passionate about.
Yay.
But your most recent episode would have been Fairly Odd Parents.
Fairly Odd Parents, yeah.
Got a lot of crossover with Doctor Sleep, don't
Yeah.
you think?
It does.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. I wasn't on that episode. I can't say.
Mm.
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 Yeah, so we've officially finished our first season. If you do want more of us talking about Stephen King, if you do go to Pod Run Out Studios or look for First Time Flyers anywhere, you will see there was a crossover episode, or 4 episodes even, of First Time Kings, where we talk about Stephen King pilots. Maybe some of those stuff we will be covering in a little bit more detail next year. I don't know. I can't remember which ones we did.
I mean, in a way, some of them we definitely will be,
Yeah,
but I also don't know when we're covering the other ones.
yeah. Who knows? Let us know what you want us to cover, and we will make exceptions. We'll change. We will force Joe to sit through and read the absolute slop minds. We will shortly be covering one of the ones that we did have planned for this year, but we had to throw out because Joe wanted to do Long Walk. So I hope he's excited for that one.
I recently saw something where it was like about Stephen King adaptations, and it was the name of one. I can't remember it. But it was like a name of a book that was adapted, and I remember genuinely thinking, like, what the fuck? I've never heard of this. Even in our discussions.
Is it an
of what we're
adaptation
gonna
that
do.
exists?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
The Night Flyer.
It wasn't that.
The Dark Half.
I don't think it was
The
the Dark Half.
Mangler.
I'm pretty sure it was one word.
Desperation.
Not that one.
Regulators.
Maybe it was Regulators, I don't know.
I don't know if Regulators has an adaptation.
I don't know, but it was one of those ones I looked at it and was like, what the fuck? I've never heard of this.
Is
So-
it like the one I sent the other week? It was just like Mr. Tickles or
No,
something?
no, it's not that one. No, not that one.
It's not Mr. Tickles, it's Mr. something or other.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you all for listening. over
Thank
this
you.
half
Have
of
a
year.
very Merry
Ooh,
Christmas.
also, if you do want to be kind and leave us a little Christmas present, you can go to your podcast platform of choice and leave us a 5-star review, preferably 5 stars. Anything less, and that's kind of heinous.
Honestly, yeah. Who
I
leaves a
have
4?
never left a less than 5-star review on something. Even like other services. An Uber driver would have to kill me for me to give them less than 5 stars.
Yeah.
And I know that because one of them did drive us home once, speeding.
Yeah.
with no seatbelt on. Granted, that was his safety, not ours. I still give him 5
And the window
stars.
was open and I was freezing.
Yeah, he got
Well,
us home.
You should always wear seatbelts because that's what took out Crow Daddy.
Crow Daddy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.